Affiliates. Number one rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Increasing clouds out there this afternoon, but on the mild side with a high of 70. A few sprinkles during the evening commute, but scattered showers and thunderstorms starting around dinner time, continuing tonight. We'll see a low tonight of 52. Some showers on and off tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, a chance of some scattered storms that could be severe. We'll see a high of 63.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 1,016 points to 39,591.
Chikrin now, chance to score! Walker sends it up front. Second chance, they score! Jackson Blake looking Jarvis, he scores! Roslovic feathers it, Stankovic scores! He's winning clean. Blake on the backhand, and he scores! Chatfield swings down McMichael. Brute strength. He'll get the takedown.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. What's going on, everybody? It is the first day of the Masters.
You did it, Tim.
We made it.
You made it.
It is a hockey night in Carolina.
Let's go.
It is another day where the transfer portal spins. The coaching portal spins. All of the portals spinning. I don't even know if portals spin. Carousels, they spin. It is the Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, and the Canes play the Caps tonight. One that has been circled on everyone's calendar for 1 week. Since the last time they played, and it ended with 1 billion penalty minutes and 1 billion punches thrown in the third period, this one has been circled on calendars. They also, the Canes, they're playing the Caps. They're also the best team in the Eastern Conference tonight, right? That's who you're playing against. And there's very little on the line. Okay, we already know who the Canes are playing in the opener of the postseason. They're playing the Devils. The Canes are 1 point away from clinching home ice in that first series. So as far as like tangible stakes, I would argue very little. Still a lot up in the air, though. And that is not a intended pun on airplane emojis up in the air. But Eric Tolsky, the GM of the Canes, did at about 1 a.m. last night tweet out just an emoji of an airplane. That's it. Just one emoji. No explanation, no hashtags, which has led to a bunch of speculation about Nikishin, right? Alexander Nikishin, the KHL player who's been one of the better, if not the best, defenseman not in the NHL for the last year, maybe couple of years. His KHL season's over in Russia, way over there in Russia. So if there's the proper negotiations being agreed upon with his KHL team, he can come over and play for the Canes. An airplane emoji might mean that. It also might mean, I don't know, he's watching the movie Airplane. It might mean that he put his phone in his pocket and he accidentally tweeted out the emoji Airplane. We don't know. But that's something going on off the ice for the Canes. On the ice, they're playing the Caps. On the ice, they're on a 3-game losing streak. On the ice, there's been a dip. Okay, now the cause of the dip has been debated, right? There's a natural exhale when you clinch the playoffs, which happened to take place between 3 games ago and 4 games ago. Like as they ended the 4th game, that clinched the postseason. So then the next 3 games all are, you could argue, during that exhale period, which would allow for some explanation as to why they've lost the last 3.
Ironically, that Caps game.
Yeah. Which, the other thing we need to make sure we mention is the Canes played unbelievable in that game.
Oh, they were phenomenal.
The fights at the end kind of became the hot button issue because there was no debate about the first two periods. The first two periods, it was an absolute demolition by the Canes. There was nothing to argue about, right? There was no this is why that. It's like no, the Caps got run over. Ovechkin got a goal on a 5-on-3, which was part of the chase, but really everybody, you knew what took place, and then the fights became like, oh, we can argue about that. All the other stuff, there's nothing to argue about. That's a knockout. But over here, we can argue about this, so that's what it became. Canes and Devils are playing in the first round. We know that. Does that change the mentals at all? It's like less. You know who you're playing. You know who you're preparing for. It's interesting, right? If you are arguing that it's between the ears, maybe a letdown, an exhale, whatever you want to call it, over the last 3 games, does that mean just we have 5 more and it's just going to be chilling because they've pretty much clinched whatever they need to clinch? Like starting next game, should Eric Tulsky and Rod Brindamore call up everyone from Chicago and just have Jarvis take, 1 period up in the booth with Mike and Tripp and like really lean into it? Because if you're not playing well due to an exhale, which is natural, actually, matter of fact, let's go ahead and play the audio from Rod Brindamore talking about the bit of a letdown after clinching a playoff spot earlier this week.
That's human nature. I mean, I think you see it every team. That's pretty much, once you push so hard from September to get to, everybody wants to play in the playoffs. I mean, but you can't, that doesn't just happen. Like, you have to push. And then once you know you got that, there's this human nature, or I think everyone just takes a little breather. And it's not a ton, but it's enough that you don't quite get the results you want. And then we know we have to find that again. Does it have to happen tonight? Not necessarily, and we know that, but that's what we're trying to do.
That was from earlier today from Rod Brindamore talking about, the human nature side of you've clinched and now what? If you're okay with that, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not. I do think you consider really throttling it down. Like, don't pretend, right? If it's like, hey, you know what? Human nature is to chill. Lean into it, right? Where's Robida? Right? Lean into it. Where's Scott Morrow? Get those guys out there because, Brent Burns is old. Get him less minutes. I know you're not going to sit him because of the streak, but have Morrow take a few of those extra minutes, or whoever you want to put out there, a few of those extra minutes. The other thing I want to talk about real quickly here is exactly what I just mentioned. Some of the defense. There's last 20 games per money puck, and this was a tweet I saw Adam interacting with on social media. Slavin is, over the last 20 games, 167th in plus-minus amongst defensemen. -4. Chatfield, -4. Orlov, -12. Burns and Walker, even. Gostisbehere, way up there. He's third best, which obviously comes with some of the special teams and everything else. Here's the thing. When you are the Canes, you stop the puck from going in the net. When you are the Canes, your blue line scores. Like I talk about identities across every sport. I think it is worth its weight in gold when you know what your team is going to look like, feel like, play like. And we kind of offhand throw it out there, right? Like, oh, when you play for Rod Brindamore, you got to play the entire ice. Oh, when you play for Rod Brindamore, you got to be a two-way hockey player, right? Oh, when you're in this system, you have to be prepared to exhaust yourself and leave on empty if you play on the blue line because, the system is tough and it's all these things. Those have to be true. I'm not saying they aren't. Again, we've just talked about all the mental and the context and the nuance that goes into it. But I don't want to give the other team any reason to think when they show up you're getting anything other than a Canes hockey game. When you're playing the Devils in the first round, I don't want them to think they're getting anything other than what the Canes have become known for. When Slavin's out there, if you get a sliver of a chance, you better take advantage of it because that's the best you're going to do. And you don't know if you're going to get one. If you're matched up with that defensive pairing, you don't know if you're going to get one the rest of the night. Like, that's the pressure you need to put on people. Not saying they aren't. The last 3 games they haven't, but we can write that off. I'm cool with writing it off as long as it's proved to be, this is going to be a word that I make up, write-offable. That's what I'm talking about, write-offable. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a full day, and we'll come back to the off-the-ice stuff with the codes and the honors and standing up for yourself with the kind of UFC version of Kane's caps from last week. But for right now, I need to tell you all about Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. During bracket season, when everybody was filling out their brackets, we did one as well. 16 iconic watches in a 16-team bracket. We paired them up, picked winners, made it all the way to the end. The Rolex Daytona ended up being the winner. I mean, that's a dynasty, right? They're probably the betting favorite to come back next year and double up. But the cool part about the watch bracket, kind of cool part like most brackets, is if you run it back, it's never going to be the same. It's impossible to predict. You looked at some of the matchups, and it's just like an Omega Speedmaster against a Rolex Explorer, right? Something that crazy. And that's like an early round matchup. And if you would have picked instead of me as the winners, there probably would have been different, last 4 remaining, different 8 teams out of the first round would have been different. Why? Because everybody has a different style for what they want to make as far as statements on their wrist with the watches. So whatever your style is, there's something iconic. There's something obviously high quality at Bailey's Fine Jewelry to put on your wrist. Go check them out, whether it's Norcane, Omega, pre-owned and vintage Rolex, the Hamiltons. I mean, I could go on and on. You want to check it out, Bailey's Fine Jewelry, specifically the Village District location in Raleigh, because that's where the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop is also located inside their main showroom. Check them out and let them know you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of the coaching carousel turning, John Andrzejek, the brand new Campbell head basketball coach, who just finished up a run to a national championship as an assistant at Florida, will be joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Listen to 99.9 The Fan every afternoon during the drive for your chance to see the Storm Surge in person. It's our annual 10K playoff payout. Try your luck at playoff tickets by finding the golden puck and take your ultimate slap shot at $10,000. Listen for the 10K playoff payout. And remember, with Ford F-150 on your team, it's game on. See your Carolina Ford dealer today.
Your home shelters your dreams and protects your memories. At Baker Home Exteriors, we understand this deeply. It's why we've dedicated ourselves to caring for homes like yours. As part of the Baker Roofing family, we bring a century of expertise to every project, from roofing and siding to windows and decks. We don't just upgrade homes, we help protect the life you've built within them. Because your home is where our heart is. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com and start your home's next chapter.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned Cajun fried whole breast tenderloin fillets, choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
John is in a hot tub on his vacation. He earned 20,000 points by spending $2,000 with his Navy Federal Credit Union More Rewards card. To be clear, you don't have to vacation in a hot tub to redeem this offer. But John did, because the bubbles make him happy. Right now, you can earn 20,000 points when you spend $2,000 in the first 90 days. Offer ends January 1st, 2026. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Visit NavyFederal.org for details.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We are a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come and throw it in and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you, hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there. If you ever need us, give us a call. Visit our website at newcombandcompany.com. As you always hear us say, your comfort is our business.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Hello, Scott Forbes, head baseball coach, University of North Carolina. When it comes to choosing a dealership, I stick with Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Growing up in Sanford, I've been fortunate to be lifelong friends with Will Wilkinson. My family and I have been buying and having our vehicles serviced at Wilkinson for many, many years. Great service, competitive prices, and most importantly, a place you can trust. Go where I go. Go see my longtime friend Will Wilkinson at Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC.
5 seconds to Sharp, top of the key, lost the dribble. He's got to pick it up. It's scooped up by Condon. Condon secures it, and Florida found a way. From 12 down to the school's third national championship in men's basketball. 65-63 the final. The Florida Gators.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's what it sounded like when the Florida Gators won the national championship, men's basketball, just a handful of nights ago, a couple of nights ago. And John Andrzejek was on the sideline for Florida as one of the assistant coaches. By that point, we all knew he was taking the Campbell head coaching job once the season was over, and now he is joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Coach, thank you for taking the time out of what I'm sure has been a extremely busy couple of days. So we'll start with kind of just the foundation of it. Why was Campbell the right job for you? Why are you coming to the Camels to start your head coaching career?
Yeah, I'm so excited to be the head coach at Campbell. I think it's an unbelievable community that really spoke to me. You know, I grew up in a small town, upstate New York. I grew up baling hay and being in one of those places where everybody knew everybody, and you spend a lot of time with the neighbors' kids playing in the yard after school. And that's the type of campus and community that they have there at Buies Creek. And I think it's a place that's really hungry for a winner and excited to get behind the new coach and his staff to try to win a bunch of games. And I feel like this is a perfect place for me to be able to run the type of program that I want to run, have the culture that I want to have, and compete for an NCAA tournament bid.
We saw your Florida team here in the area for the first two rounds of the NCAA tournament, first and second round in Raleigh. Did you make it out to Buies Creek at all to get a vibe? Did you steal a couple hours to take in North Carolina?
Oh, absolutely. No, I've been to campus a few times now. It's kind of a small world coincidence that our first two round games were 35, 40 minutes away. Actually, Hannah Bazemore, the athletic director, kind of surprised me with the contract and with the job offer after we came back from practice that first day in Raleigh. And then after I accepted the job, I ended up driving down the next night to the creek, and I met with the team and kind of talked about my vision for the program and how I'm going to emphasize getting the right people on the bus. And for me, that means getting people with great attitudes that work really hard and that are going to have tremendous pride in being at Campbell.
John Andrzejek, new Campbell head men's basketball coach, connecting with us here on The Drive on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. Coach, what is that first meeting like? You mentioned you talked to the players. Is it like a double interview with the transfer portal where they're feeling you out to see if they want to stay, you're feeling them? Like, what do you talk about as far as the future of the program when you know that portal's calling in both directions?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a piece of that. I mean, everybody's got options nowadays and things to think about. But for me, it was more about just setting my vision for the program, how I'm going to run it. And the other piece that was really important for me to tell them is, like, you're not going to hear me say a bad word about Coach McGeehan and the previous staff. They did a lot of good stuff. They had a 20-win season. They got on the national radar. They recruited some good players. Chris Clemens was obviously a star. So my thing is just moving forward. We've got to be a staff that has no rear view mirrors. We're just going ahead and trying to build our legacy and trying to make this program as good as it can be.
Now, no rear view mirrors. I don't know if I'd be making that my slogan if I was just on the staff that won a national championship.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I might want to put a spotlight on everything that you were just a part of. What did you learn maybe from seeing the best team in the country, a national champion from the inside and being a part of that run?
Yeah, no, it was really a special group of guys that came together and really just took it to heart to try to get 1% better every day, and I think at the beginning of the year, we were a team that was regarded as kind of a fringe top 25 team that could maybe get to the second weekend of the tournament, but nobody saw us going all the way. And the belief that we had that we could win the national title was really internal. It was the 15 guys on the team, the coaches on the staff, and we just hunkered down and kept getting a little bit better day after day. And I think the resilience of this group was really on display, being down big in 3 or 4 of those games in the tournament and finding a way to get them all done.
John Andrzejek, Campbell, brand new head men's basketball coach, joining us just a couple of days after being on the coaching staff for Florida's national championship. Coach, I look forward to following the program and kind of watching it mold into your identity and all of the things that come with getting to know a program. But I'll let you know, right? I've Googled you, right? And then I've prepared. The reputation or the kind of rap you have is you're a big analytics guy, right? You're graduating fast from smart schools and you're using the calculator. Are you kind of bringing that style to roster management at Campbell, and how does that kind of impact your philosophy?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big part of our program. We want to use data as often as possible to influence our decision-making, and that comes in scheduling, that comes in recruiting, that comes at the end of game or end of halves, especially with 2-for-1s, some of our end game type decisions, lineup data. We're going to use it anywhere we can. Now, is it the most important thing in a program? No, it's not. I mean, I'm a big fan of old school coaching and holding guys accountable and having good player development plans to help them each, maximize their abilities on the court. And I think that stuff comes first. But we're absolutely going to use the data to find undercover gems and guys that can be stars in the CAA.
One of the numbers that every school is obsessed with right now is the NIL budget. Have you gotten into that, and what kind of is the NIL situation that you're walking into at Campbell?
Yeah, I'm still a little new to this, so we're trying to get boots on the ground and figure all that out. I mean, if somebody's listening to the show and they want to help in that regard, feel free to hit me up. You can find me on Twitter. You can hit my DMs. It's certainly a factor in college basketball success in the new era, and it's an area that I think I've been tasked with sort of modernizing the program. So I'm going to push hard there, do everything I can. But I know also too, it's a little bit field of dreams. If you build it, then they'll come, so we gotta get good. We got to bootstrap it, be a well-coached team that does the most with what we got. And then, how it normally works is you end up getting more when you do that.
What's kind of priority number one, right? If you're still trying to get boots on the ground, still trying to get settled? Is it filling out the staff? Is it evaluating the current roster, the transfer portal, bringing guys in? Where do you start with such a kind of monumental task?
Yeah, I would say the two biggest priorities right now are getting my hires done for the rest of the staff. And, to me, that's a pretty complex jigsaw puzzle because we need to have a staff that really complements each other well, so that we can excel in all areas, offensively, defensively, be able to recruit the region really well, be able to recruit the transfer portal and provide new opportunities for, up transfers from the Division II or NAIA level and also maybe some playing time opportunity for talented players from the Power 5 that aren't playing quite as much as they want, So getting together a well-rounded staff is important to me. And then obviously we got to hit the portal running. The clock's ticking. It's already open. There's a ton of guys in there. And we got to put our best foot forward to assemble a roster that can compete at the highest level of CAA right away.
John, we appreciate you for taking the time to jump on the show. Hopefully we can do this again as you kind of put your fingerprints all over that Campbell program.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'd love to be on. I want to get the program out there more and make sure our fans are packing the convo this year. We got some really fun times ahead. We're going to build a lot of great memories. Roll Humps.
There it is, Coach. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Once again, that is John Andersek, Campbell, head men's basketball coach. Really brand new, right? When you get to him saying, sometimes coaches, you're a month in, you're 2 months in, and you talk to them, and they're still going, well, I'm just trying to establish some things, and they're kind of playing coy with you. Nah, Coach, he was on the sideline for a national champion as assistant coach and had been called defensive coordinator kind of throughout the run for that Florida team. So he had some other things going on when he says he's just looking to establish himself in Bowie's Creek and get the program rolling. I believe him since it's Thursday and the national championship game was on Monday. It's The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. There's a lot to get to today. The Dean's List will allow me to cover a whole bunch of it in rapid-fire succession, and I look forward to doing so, including, you heard Coach talking about the portal and how it's cranking away. There's some portal news that has been cranking away today. I promise you, if you are a fan of the ACC teams in the Triangle, if you're a fan of college basketball in general, you're going to want to hear the news coming up. But before any of that, here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. It's that time of year, enjoying the motorcycle, get out there on the open road, but I also know it's the time of year where there's a little bit of added risk when you're out there on a motorcycle. And this is where Law Tigers comes in. We just, you hear people talking about community, being part of a fan base or maybe even part of a family. Well, that's what Law Tigers is there for you if you're a motorcycle rider, because Law Tigers are riders too. And that's the best part about Law Tigers is that if you are injured in a motorcycle accident and you contact Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, you're getting somebody that understands what you're going through. Because like I said, they're riders too. They're part of that same community that you are in. They know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth. They know what you're going through after an accident. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers is always free, and they don't get paid until your case settles. So make sure you contact Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you contact your insurance company, because insurance companies, they just want to give you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they have your back. That's why you got to contact Law Tigers, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Dean's List will cover some of the more surprising news in the college basketball world coming up next. Heineken Silver is a world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. It keeps things light and refreshing all year round. It's like rain showing up to cool things off and then politely leaving. It's like cracking open a window and nailing the cross breeze. So, as we move into the warmer weather, grab a crisp and refreshing Heineken Silver and taste the difference. Only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. Available at your local Heineken retailer or for delivery at Heineken.com/silver now. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Cool cars, cool people, good times. America's favorite car show is back. The Good Guys 10th Griots Garage North Carolina Nationals presented by Tremec. April 18th and 19th at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds in Raleigh. Cruise on out and see over 1,500 of the Southeast's finest hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Autocross racing, a Saturday night demolition derby, vendor midway, live entertainment, and more. April 18th and 19th at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. Details at good-guys.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. T&Cs apply.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately. Nope, sticking to our go-to places. You mean like Sharky's. Well, we love our Sharky's. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3. You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection. And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it. Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other? Yes!
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door?
Or is it more than
Dr. Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's a big week in golf. Global Golf has everything you need to get ready for your next round. Browse all the top brands like Callaway, TaylorMade, Mizuno, Ping, and Titleist, plus expert help from our team of PGA Golf professionals for lessons and fittings. Global Golf has you covered with Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned clubs and the easiest way to trade in your current golf clubs. Visit Global Golf today and get ready to play. Located on 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf.
Interest rates have plummeted. It's time to call Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. If you're looking to get cash out of your home equity, refinance out of a high rate, or do a home improvement project, Loan Pronto can make it happen in a matter of days. Take advantage of this opportunity and get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home equity. Pay off all your credit cards. Pay off your car loans. The average homeowner cuts their monthly bills by $1,000. Get more info at loanpronto.com. Inflation and higher costs have put a lot of people in a stressful financial situation. But if you own a home, there's a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks, and most don't even need an appraisal. Do the smart thing. Stop paying insane rates on those credit cards. Wipe them all out. Get a lower mortgage rate. Get some money for that home improvement project. It all starts by getting in contact with the experts at this, Loan Pronto. LoanPronto.com or call 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Dribbling left, Danger steps up. Evans, step back three from the wing. Got it again! Kyan Evans with 21. 64-54. Colorado State up 10. Kyan Evans, a new career high in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was highlights from the newest commit for the North Carolina Tar Heels, Kyan Evans, point guard from Colorado State. This is the news you need to hear about your plans for tomorrow and Saturday. Now that spring is here, there's never a bad time to think about improvements. Join us when we broadcast live. This show will be broadcast live from the Aluminum Company's annual Spring Open House tomorrow. The Spring Open House takes place tomorrow and Saturday. We'll be broadcasting live for our Friday show, all at 1335 Hamlin Road in Durham. So come out, enjoy, chat with us, have some complimentary food, grab a free no-obligation estimate on some doors, some windows, some siding, everything that the Aluminum Company has to offer. There'll be giveaways and more, all at the Aluminum Company's annual Spring Open House this Friday, if you want the live broadcast of this show, Friday and Saturday, to check out the open house. Now, let's go ahead and fire up the Dean's List. Let's put a little class in session. We'll start with 4 names, Dennis. If you can tell me who these 4 guys are, I'll give you a lot of credit. Jose Luis Ballester, Justin Hastings, Hiroshi Tai, and Noah Kent.
Can't say I know them.
They are the 4 college golfers participating in the Masters.
Oh, look at them.
The 4 of the 5 amateurs are from the college world. Ballester, Arizona State, Hastings, San Diego State, Tai, Georgia Tech, and Kent from Florida. Speaking of the Masters, listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the Masters. Here's the current leaderboard presented by Treyburn Country Club. Leading the way, Rosie. Justin Rose out there in first by himself by 2 strokes. 6 under par through 11. There is a group of golfers, or I should say a pair of golfers, and a tie for second, Corey Connors and number 1 golfer in the world, Scotty Scheffler, at 4 under. So, Rose, your lead. I know it's multiple strokes. I would not consider it safe by any stretch because you have Connors and, more importantly, Scheffler on your tail. Some of the bigger names from around the leaderboard, Freddie Couples, the legendary smooth swinger, is in the clubhouse at 1 under, tied for 10th. McIlroy, DeChambeau, they're both 1 under through 7, along with Akshay Bhatia, who lives in the area, 1 under through 7. Spieth is 1 over through 17. Morikawa is even and done for the day. Wake Forest guys, Cam Young, even and done for the day. Zalatoris, 2 over and done for the day. Rahm and Koepka, 2 and 3 over, about halfway through their rounds. Masters updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Treyburn Country Club, the Triangle's Golf Escape. Now back to the Dean's List. I'm just going to say this. There's some news in the college world that is deserving of quite a bit of conversation. But daily occurrence here. Sam Harris, Duke baseball, earns his way onto the Dean's List. You may be saying, what do you mean daily occurrence? There's a walk-off every single day in the Triangle. This one, the coolest variety. Duke baseball walked it off with a grand slam versus Campbell last night from Sam Harris.
That's the way to do it.
And it gets better. They were trailing 7-2 going into the bottom of the 8th. They score 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th to make it a game, then 5, including 4 from the walk-off grand slam, in the bottom of the 9th to win 10-7. Campbell, we just had the Campbell basketball coach on. Sorry, I mean we're excited for Coach Andersek to be here, but then we have to talk about the highlight where your team kind of let one get away. Dennis, do you have some Dean's List participants?
I can't say I do.
Perfect, because I got plenty.
Okay.
Max Johnson. This just came across my social media during the commercial break. He was the starting quarterback for UNC in the opener last year. Suffered a very, very tough injury in that opener.
Broken femur.
Against Minnesota. Had to stay in Minnesota while the team flew back because the medicals and surgeries and everything else. He put out a video of the grind and the return and the rehab and everything he's going through. He's back in pads and throwing, and he's got kind of the Rocky montage going on. So credit to him. I root for everyone to come back from injuries. I don't want anyone's career or anyone's dreams to end with an injury. So shout out to Max Johnson for grinding. Now, these next 2 are going to be my favorites. I'm giving a Dean's List to every player that has gone into the portal, considered going into the portal, and looked out for their darn self. Alan Huss, High Point head basketball coach, it was revealed today, is leaving his position as the High Point head basketball coach to take a coaching job with Creighton as an assistant with the head coach in waiting moniker for whenever McDermott, their head coach out there, retires. This is why when players look out for themselves, I always defend the players. 1 month and 4 days ago, High Point announced a contract extension with Huss. 1 month and 4 days ago. A couple of days after that, guess what? He was on this show talking about the future of High Point. 9 days ago, On3 reported that a Xavier transfer, small forward Cameron Fletcher, had signed with High Point. Today, the coach left. If a player is looking out for anybody other than that player, I don't get why, because everybody else is looking out for themselves. You sign a contract extension. Less than a month later, get a player to commit to you. I'm assuming that player is thinking, he just signed a contract extension. I'll get to play for this guy. What happens? He bounces, and not even like, it's Creighton. He went to Creighton. I understand. It's moving home. It's getting to fulfill opportunities. He's the head coach in waiting. In waiting.
We talked to him after they won the Big South.
2 very good years.
Yeah.
He's done a very good job with High Point, which is why this opportunity presented itself. But it's kind of like, oh, could you bet on yourself and say another good season, you'll have more opportunities and Creighton will want you even more? And you may go, well, why would he be that confident? Well, players are picking you and being confident in you. Why can't you be confident in you? I'm fine with people saying that disloyalty is one of the things that's wrong in college sports. But if you put it on players, put it on coaches twice as much. That's all I ask. Last one here, and I know there's a lot, but we got to highlight those that deserve highlights in the college sports world. I'm throwing Will Wade, NC State head coach, in here.
Okay.
On3 is linking him and NC State to Ian Jackson, the 5-star freshman from UNC that just went into the transfer portal. That is a I'm not messing around move. Now, obviously, we had, how much contact is it really there, right? The rumors in the transfer portal are always, you got to take them with a grain of salt. But if true, I like that Will Wade is entering. Like, actually, this is the best way to describe it. In Will Wade's intro presser, how did he talk about Duke and UNC? Do you remember the exact wording he used? He said, I know we have some bully neighbors. He used bully neighbors, right? Well, if you're the new kid on the recess field, what do you have to do to the bullies? You walk up to one of the biggest, baddest, strongest bullies and you punch them in the mouth, right? Just let everybody know you're not to be messed with. Well, that's kind of what the move would be if it happens. Mm-hmm. I like that you're just trying. And I'm not like rooting for anyone in the deal, but I do want the triangle to be, a little spicy. It's good for entertainment, which is what college sports is.
I kind of want the anarchy.
Yeah.
I do.
I agree.
If it was the same way, like a state player going to Duke or Duke player going to State or Carolina, whatever, give me the anarchy.
We've seen it in football, but I don't think we've seen like the direct move in basketball. We saw, Doncic Styles go from UNC to Georgetown to State. That's not quite the same.
And we saw football, Jordan Waters go from Duke to NC State.
And there's been a couple that have bounced within State in the ACC in football, but basketball, they don't wear helmets. You see faces. Mm-hmm. It's a little more personal.
It's different.
All right, there you go. That's all I got for the Dean's List. Class dismissed. But we're going to stay on portal talk because last night, Kyan Evans commits to UNC out of the transfer portal. Received a commitment, did the Tar Heels, from Kyan Evans. UNC, it better be about fit. That's what I'm saying. The Hubert Davis, with actions and who he's grabbing out of the portal and who that team is kind of making a priority this offseason, they're choosing, I would say, fit over talent. Because I look at Kyan Evans. No disrespect to him. Might be a better basketball player. Might be a better fit for UNC. He's not as talented as Elliot Cadeau or Ian Jackson. Right? Like when I say talented, maybe the talented might not be the right word, but the raw measurables like, size, speed, recruiting pedigree, explosiveness, we're talking a lot of NFL draft, like the combine stuff. He's not going to be as impressive as some of the other players that UNC has brought in and seen leave. He's 6'2", 185 pounds, averaged 10.5 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds, we'll call it, per game in 36 games this past year for Colorado State All-Starts. You want to know the real appeal and why I will never say that a player like Kyan Evans doesn't have a place in a program? He shot 44.6% from 3. 44.6% from 3. Which means I have the one issue I have with every shooter that shoots that high of a percentage. He doesn't shoot enough. Kyan Evans shot 44.6. This comes from Brian Murphy, WRL Sports Investigative Reporter. He tweeted it out. Shot 44.6% from three-point range last year at Colorado State. That percentage would have been high enough to have him ranked in the top 10 in the entire NCAA, but Evans' 4.7 attempts per game were not enough to qualify on the NCAA stats page.
Oh, 4.7 wasn't enough?
Wasn't enough to qualify on the NCAA stats page.
So he needs to shoot like 6.
At 44.6%?
Yeah.
He needs to shoot
8.
Twice as much. Yeah. But that's kind of what I'm getting at here, right? Like he might not be as high recruiting pedigree, tall, explosive as somebody like Ian Jackson, but you're bringing in somebody that shot 44.6% from 3 and had the ball in his hands a ton this past year.
Yeah, because he was their main point guard at Colorado State.
Started all 36 games. So you are benefiting from someone else's development of a player. Evans was a low 3-star recruit. I looked up his offers. Pretty much, he had 10 offers, but a lot of them were schools that I hadn't heard much of. He chose Colorado State over like Illinois, Chicago, Indiana State, like programs that are there, but not exactly ACC programs. His freshman year, he played 8 minutes a game, averaged 1.7 points, 0.9 rebounds, and 0.9 assists as a freshman.
Okay.
Colorado State developed him, right? He played in all 36 games as a freshman, even though it was just 8 minutes per game. He developed that an offseason with him, and he developed into a player that by the end of this year, he had scored in their NCAA tournament win against Memphis. He scored 23 points and went 6 of 9 from 3.
Career high 23 points, by the way.
That's a good job by Colorado State.
Yeah.
And now UNC says, thanks for your hard work. Bring him on in here, right? That's the good of the transfer portal. That's the good of the transfer portal. UNC is betting on fit in their roster construction this year because I did too much research here. Henry Vasar has come out of the portal from Arizona, 7-footer to UNC. Jonathan Powell from West Virginia, a perimeter player, shooter, has come out of the transfer portal to UNC, and now Kyan Evans comes out of the transfer portal from Colorado State to UNC. I think on 247 Sports, which does a lot of the portal stuff, they ranked all of the players that entered the portal this year. Vasar was number 24 on the list that I was looking at this morning. The 23 above him all average more points per game this past season than anyone that committed to UNC out of the portal. So the top, 23 players in the list that I was looking at this past year averaged more points than Vasar, more points than Powell, more points than Evans per game this past season. Vasar averaged less than 10 points per game, but he blocks shots. He can impact the game in a bunch of different ways. Very kind of modern big in his skill set. Jonathan Powell averaged less than 10 points per game, but shoots the 3 a whole bunch, high-volume three-point shooter, made 64 of them this past year, and brings size to the perimeter at 6 feet 6 inches tall, something that UNC didn't have this past year, at least not much of. Kyan Evans averaged just barely over 10 points per game, but He's a three-point shooter and a ball handler and a true point, something that you need to have both of, right? Not just a setup guy. You need to also be able to get your own, knock down shots, create spacing, something that Elliot Cadeau wasn't always able to do last year.
And he's 6'2".
And he's 6'2", 185 pounds. So looking at UNC, they're at the top or near the top of the top 10 rankings and portal rankings and stuff. That's a volume thing. They've got 3 commits. Not many teams have 3 commits already. They didn't go for the flashiest first thing they saw, the highest ranked. They're getting what it looks like specific skill sets that they desire. They don't just want somebody that averaged 18 points last year. They want somebody that's a big that can defend the rim. They don't want somebody that's just, had the ball in his hands and high volume shot their way to 18, 19 points per game. They want a true point guard that can shoot to provide spacing for Caleb Wilson and Vasar down low. Right? And Powell, they don't just want another young developmental perimeter player. They want a young developmental perimeter player that can provide spacing and might be able to match up with or switch more because they have the height to play against bigger players. It's fit this year over Flash. And then, by the way, the Flash can still come from some of the young guys. If Drake Powell returns, Caleb Wilson, who I brought up, who's one of the top recruits in the country, like they can have Flash. But the portal seems to be where they're hunting skill sets. And you know what else? Probably a cheaper way to operate. You can get more bang for your buck if you're like, hey, we just need a shooter. We can do without some of this other stuff that rises the price. That's good. You know what it is? This is my analogy here. I think about this. You know when you're buying like a cable package and you think, I got to pay
like 20 years ago? Yes.
Yeah. I got to pay all this money to get 250 channels. I'm going to watch 3 channels, right? And now you can buy a stream. Like you can just get like whatever, ESPN Plus. And you're like, there you go. That's what I just need to pay for one. You get a little bit cheaper. They're like, why do I have to pay for, pick and roll ability and all this size? I just want shooting, right? Can't I just buy the shooting? I just want a shooter that can space the floor. Perfect. Here's Jonathan Powell. There you go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. This one. I have a question for you, Dennis. You play in men's league hockey league.
That's right, 5-2 win last night.
I've never, outside of like pick up a few times, never played ice hockey. Lanky, just didn't grow up on the ice. What's the protocol for tonight for Canes and Caps? This is just more my curiosity, right? All these unwritten rules that I've done, like I write them down, right? I want to know them. So as soon as somebody tells me an unwritten rule in hockey, I go scribble it in a notebook so I can remember it. All of these unwritten rules, what do the rules say about tonight?
In terms of any carryover from the last time they played?
Exactly. For those of you that don't remember, there were, 5 fights? Something like that?
There were 4 guys that were given fighting majors, but there's really only one, I guess you can say, actual fight where guys actually squared up and dropped the gloves. That was Jalen Chatfield and Connor McMichael.
Felt like more than that.
I think there will be some because it is a rivalry, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. And I know Seth Jarvis even said it after the game. He's like, this type of stuff, it's fun, it's competitive, it's hockey. This is what it's supposed to be. I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot. I don't think that Washington is just going to go out there and just try and seek blood because Washington also has to remind themselves, oh, yeah, we got our butts kicked 5-1 in that game, and we want to play better. I know their head coach even said that earlier today. But, for example, if they don't like the way that McMichael was slammed to the ice by Chatfield, and it's like, hey, that's not something you do. That's reckless. There's one thing to fight. There's also another thing to be reckless. Which is
hilarious. I love that there is that distinction. It's funny to me.
It is.
It makes sense. I'm not arguing against it. It's just a funny sentence to say. Like, hey, you can fight, but let's not get careless here.
And I think knowing Chatfield, knowing Jalen, that if he was early in the game, off of a face-off, someone says, hey, we're settling this right now, off of what you did, he'll stand up.
They'll
settle it. He'll stand up, they'll settle it, and then we'll move on. We'll play hockey. That's what I expect today. Now, will it be a physical and chippy game? 100%. But that doesn't – I don't think there's just going to be like, all right, bulls in a china shop type deal where everyone's just running around knocking things over.
What I don't like is when there's like a requirement. You see it in baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to throw at the guy at the beginning of the next inning because if I don't, then it's like we didn't check all the boxes. At this point in the season, 5 games left, both teams in the postseason, both teams playing for something pretty significant this year. I almost wish, and this is never what happens in like these events because emotions are more involved. I almost wish that like the 2 oldest, most respected players on each team could get together and say, listen, I know we got unfinished business. Can we settle this first game we face each other next year? Because like, we acknowledge these 2 got to settle it. Like, we acknowledge that you got to do what you got to do, or, our teams have to settle it. But broken jaws could really throw off our postseason run here. So let's just do it early next season rather. How does you bring out the calendar, like how does this date work for you? Mm-hmm. Right. Almost the whole like, hey, if we fight in school, we're going to get in a lot of trouble, but I can meet you in the parking lot across the street at 3:15. Like, is that cool for you? Like, I know it'll never happen that way, but I kind of wish it could.
I understand what you're saying. I think this is, you settle it now.
Yeah.
And you move forward. You settle it now and move forward. I do know, for example, when I used to work for FanDuel Sports Network, I actually did a lot of Nashville Predators games. And Mark Jankowski actually got into a fight when they played the Minnesota Wild because they were upset that one of the Minnesota Wild players hurt one of theirs with an illegal check. Mm-hmm. Like in the previous game that they played. It's like, hey, you know what? We're not going to let that stand. We're going to settle this right now. There were multiple fights in the game, including Mark Jankowski, who got into one.
It's also, like, if it's required, I almost feel like it doesn't have the same juice. Like, I don't mind the Canes using, like, a scrap today to kick themselves out of whatever lull they've been in the last 3 games. But it's almost like if it's, all right, I got to go out there and do this. I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. I don't know if you get the same as, like, the organic nature that fights usually pop up from. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget tomorrow's show. That's this show, The Drive. Dennis and I will be broadcast live from the Aluminum Company's annual Spring Open House this Friday. That's tomorrow. The Spring Open House actually takes place tomorrow and Saturday. The location is 1335 Hamlin Road in Durham, 1335 Hamlin Road in Durham. I mean, it's that time of year, right? The weather's going up and down, hot and cold. There'll be storms. There'll be a whole bunch of stuff going on, and you'll learn that gutters or windows or siding might need to be replaced. If that's the case, come grab a free, no obligation estimate at the open house. Grab some of the complimentary food, the giveaways, get involved with those. Say hi to us. It's all happening tomorrow and Saturday. Our broadcast will be live Friday. That's tomorrow. All from the Aluminum Company out there in Durham on Hamlin Road. Also, speaking of making sure you keep your house in order and make sure all of the worries are gone as the weather goes up and down, once you get the weather right contained, the air contained in your house, you want to control the temperature. Maynard Service Company and their owner, Brett, want you to know that they're a part of your community. They don't say it enough, right? But if you walk in their office at Maynard Service Company, they have little indicators of how much they help in the community. Oh, picture, where'd you guys take that? Oh, it's at a 5K that we sponsored. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, we were helping this philanthropic organization. So they care about not just getting your business and keeping your business. They care about you as people. They care about your community. And what that means is through making sure your heating, cooling, plumbing, electric are running correctly and fixed when they break. They also want to develop a relationship. They also want you to know the technicians and see their logo out on a truck and feel comforted by that, right? They're a part of our community, 24/7 service from Maynard Service Company all over the Triangle. So in those late night panic moments, I'm hearing water dripping inside my wall. Is that okay? The number to call is 919-361-0993. A lot of times it's not okay, by the way. If you hear water inside the wall, give them a call, 919-361-0993, or visit them online, MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. We have football at 4 coming up next. It is officially 2 weeks from the draft. So you have an opportunity, or we will have an opportunity, to plant our flag on some opinions here today. And speaking of opportunities, you have the opportunity to become a contestant for our 10K playoff payout right now. Right now. It's back. Today and tomorrow, your last 2 chances to become a contestant. Call in. Caller number 9, 919-860-5326. If you're a caller number 9 and you answer a question correctly to qualify, you'll have a chance to try your luck at a pair of Canes playoff tickets by finding the golden puck, and you'll have a chance to take your ultimate slap shot at $10,000. It's all happening at Invisalign Arena on April 16th if you are qualified. So call in now, 919-860-5326. One more chance after today, tomorrow, so make sure you get it in. And remember, with Ford F-150 on your team, it's game on. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. We qualify a new contestant and Football at 4 coming up next.
The Adam Gold Show.
I felt that the way Houston was playing and attacking and the way that Duke was sort of trying to get to the finish line, I mean, Houston had to be plus 1,500 at that point. But I just felt like, man, we are not anywhere close to being decided here, even though we probably should have been.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Now in Sanford, the Chatley Marine Boat Show and Sale featuring Yamaha boats. With giant indoor showrooms and an on-site test lake, Chatley's the choice for your next Yamaha boat. Find a huge selection of 19 through 25-foot runabouts and the popular Wake Series boats. With special financing, discounts up to $6,000, and immediate delivery available, now is the time to get your new Yamaha at the best price. Hurry to the Chatley Marine Boat Show and Sale in Sanford. ChatleyBoats.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
The North Carolina Courage, the Triangle's Division I professional women's soccer team, is letting the dogs out at First Horizon Stadium in Cary. Watch the Courage play Bay FC on April 19th for Scooby-Doo and Pups at the Pitch, presented by Veterinary Emergency Group. Get match tickets at nccourage.com.
Adam Gold and I am in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I have been doing the open house shows forever. We got one coming up.
Yeah, we do. This Friday, this Saturday, we have Friday 8 to 5, Saturday 8 to 4. We'll have free ice cream. We'll have food. Come on out and put your name in for some of our drawings. We're giving away thousands and thousands of dollars away in prizes, and actually 2,000 square feet of hardy fiber cement siding.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of siding. So for someone lucky, they're going to have a really good prize to take on home. Bring out pictures of your projects. If you have something you're thinking about, take a picture, show it to us. We're happy to meet you and take a look at all our products with our sales representatives and manufacturers reps.
And the ice cream.
And the ice cream.
Your dad always used to sell the ice cream. The array of products is awesome. 800-672-4348. This Friday and Saturday at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned, Cajun-fried, whole breast tenderloin fillets, choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles' legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Struggling to get the sleep treatment you need? I'm Megan Giggling, General Manager of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. You shouldn't have to wait for better sleep. Our streamlined process provides for sleep studies, CPAP machines, and supplies, without the long delays you'll find at other sleep centers. At Parkway Sleep, we'll help you get good rest faster and with the care you deserve.
With over 20 years of experience, join countless satisfied customers who have discovered the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit us today at parkwaysleep.com. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Increasing clouds for today ahead of our next system. We could see a few sprinkles around the evening commute and then some showers and thunderstorms starting around dinner time, continuing until around midnight. Now, before the rain arrives, we'll see increasing clouds. We'll see 70 degrees for the high, so a warmer day than it was yesterday. 52 tonight, and then tomorrow with clouds and some lingering showers and storms. It'll be cooler with a high of 63. Some of the storms tomorrow afternoon could be strong to severe.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 1,014 points to 39,593.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to hopefully qualify Caleb and Zeblin for the 10K playoff payout. All he has to do is answer a very simple question. And we're actually going to kind of double up from yesterday. Caleb, are you there, and are you prepared to answer a question?
What's up, guys? Yes, I'm here. Let's do it.
All right. The question is, yesterday the caller answered with Sebastian Aho, so he is the only player you can't name. Can you name a current player on the Carolina Hurricanes?
All right, it's got to be Andrzejek, number 37.
Beautiful. You're going to throw more details out there just to show off? It's not necessary. You are a 10K playoff payout contestant. Congratulations. You'll have your chance at playoff tickets and to take your ultimate slap shot at $10,000. Go ahead and stand the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you.
Let's go. Let's go, Canes. Appreciate you guys.
And you know what? Go crazy. Give us one more scream. You sound like you got some energy. You need to let some steam off.
Hey, this is the year. Stanley Cup, baby. Give it a couple months. We're hoisting it at the end. Let's go.
Appreciate it, Caleb. Stand the line. Dennis will grab that info. And remember, everybody with Ford F-150 on your team, it's game on. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. Solid energy right there. Needed that jolt.
Love this. Let's go.
Somebody needs to get Caleb in the locker room, right? A little listless. Just put Caleb in there.
You guys are winning the freaking cup. You guys are going to
give us a couple months and you'll hoist it. All right, Caleb. I like it. Oh, man. By the way, tomorrow, last chance. Tomorrow will be your last chance to qualify for the 10K playoff payout. Listen right about this time, right? 4 o'clock every day. This entire week we've been registering, and tomorrow is your last chance. And then the actual event takes place next week. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time for football at 4.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
So one of the things, I haven't said it on the show very often recently, but I'm proud of it, is we take accountability seriously, right? If you say something, you get it right, you get to gloat, right? To the winner goes the spoils. You say something, you get it wrong. Those that were on the other side of the argument get to call you out for it, right? It's not angry. It's not mean-spirited. It's none of those things. It's sports, right? There's a winner and a loser. So plant your flag right now. Right? Who will you answer this question? Or fill in the blank would be a better way to say it. If the Panthers draft blank with the 8th overall pick in the NFL draft, you will be furious. That's the question we're trying to answer. Right? And be realistic, right? Don't say, if they draft and give some guy with a 6th round grade. Don't say, if they draft and make it something unrealistic or something, if they draft Abdul Carter, because he won't be there. The reason why I'm saying this is the day after the first round, it's very cool, it's very trendy, it's very, you might say, fun to yell and scream and berate the teams at the top of the draft. They did horrible. There's one team that everybody kind of decides won, and everybody else gets a D- on the post-draft grades. I like to set the expectation ahead of time, right? So if they draft this person, I'll hate it. If they draft these people, I'll be middle. If they draft those, I will love it. So with 2 weeks left, right? Draft is in exactly 2 weeks. First round is in exactly 2 weeks. It's time to start kind of putting your opinions out there. So if the Panthers draft blank with the 8th overall pick, you will be furious. And then once you say that ahead of time, yeah, if they draft the guy you don't like, feel free on Friday to rant and rave and give a D- and all of those things. I have 3 names and then a generic person, like a archetype in front of me. And Dennis is still grabbing some info, but we'll hear from him in a second. If the Panthers draft Matthew Golden, Texas wide receiver, with the 8th overall pick, I will be furious. If they draft Nick Emenwari, South Carolina safety, if they draft Armin Membu from Missouri, offensive tackle, any of those 3, I will be furious. And they are all, if you look at the odds, in the top, I think it was 9 most likely players to be drafted by the Panthers in the first round. Even if they trade back and draft one of those 3, I'll be upset. 1, I'm just not a fan of Matthew Golden. I think in a second-round pick, he would be okay. But the rise that he has been given based on essentially one game late in his last season of college and then a good combine, that's not enough for me. Nick Emenwari, he's a physically gifted human being, unbelievable athlete, but he is a safety, and I just don't see value in the first round drafting safety unless it is Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu. And if you could tell me he was going to be that with 100% certainty, it would be different. I don't see it. And then Armin Membu, I just don't think they need a tackle. I'm after last year, I'm interested in seeing Ike Ekwonu develop. And even if you're drafting him as a replacement for Taylor Moton, the other offensive tackle for the Panthers, in a year or two, I think there's more impact players that you can take more advantage of your rookie contract by drafting someone that can play more immediately. And then lastly, any running back. I don't care if Genty's there at 8, and I'm a big fan of Ashton Genty. I don't care if you trade back and Omarion Hampton's there, and I'm a massive Omarion Hampton fan. No running backs.
You've been a fan of him for a couple of years.
Omarion?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. And some team is going to draft him that is more – their roster is set up and they didn't use a second-rounder last year and they didn't just pay Chuba Hubbard, and I'm going to go, what a great pick. But I will not say that for the Panthers. Everyone else, I'm at least a wait and see. Right? If they draft darn near anyone else – actually, Dennis, go ahead and give us your – if the Panthers draft blank at the 8th overall pick, you'll be furious the next morning. Give us some of yours.
Well, I would say running back. That would probably make me furious. The one I would actually be the most cautious, I guess you could say, is Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher, defensive end from Texas A&M. This dude is all traits. He is, but when you...
all traits, not just like good traits, like pretty otherworldly.
Oh, yeah. If you had to build physically a defensive end in a lab, he probably would look like Shamar Stewart. But when you have all the physical traits that you would build in a lab and you don't produce, I'm going to have major questions. Now, could he turn into Daniil Hunter, who had physical traits but no really off production in college and has had multiple double-digit sack seasons in his NFL career? If he becomes that, great. But I'm cautious. I'm going to be very cautious. That's the pick. I'm like, though I would not want that.
That's one, because this is where I'm like, wait and see. I wouldn't pick him, right? Like
I wouldn't. Not at 8.
I probably wouldn't take him in the first round. But if somebody, like, I understand that there are smart people in the NFL that don't agree with every opinion I have, and like, you know, there's shades of gray. It's not one of us is right, one of us is wrong. If you are somebody that thinks, you know, you can draft the ball of clay with all the traits, and you can, like, I'll go, all right, that's on you. I'm going to watch and see, right? I'm glad my career isn't riding on it, but if you want to do it, all right, let's see what you do with it, right? You're betting on yourself to develop them. So I won't be, you know, ranting and raving and furious with that one. I will be more, all right, here you go, right? You, like, you know, your friend that asks you for advice, you give them advice, they do the opposite. You're like, you can do whatever you want to do. That's on you. But you asked and I told you, and you're still going with the other thing. So that's kind of what I would look like with him. I agree with you that I wouldn't take him, is basically what I'm saying. But I'd also give the Panthers a little bit of like, well, all right, you're putting your career on it, right? Your reputation's on them, so you better find a way to make it work. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You can always answer questions. When we ask questions like that, you can always answer them either to me on social media at Donnelly Sports, that's on Twitter, or in our YouTube live stream comments. Head to 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe while you're there, of course. Set up alerts, like videos, and you can go to our live stream and comment with who you would be furious if they drafted at 8 overall. You have 2 weeks to make that decision. You can't answer it after the draft. That's my only rule. Accountability ahead of time. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Gordon Miller was actually in the office today, and we were talking about a ton of sports, as seemingly every conversation I have turns to, but we also talked about all of the volatility in the market, right? And the dangers of trying to time the market perfectly. Well, just a handful of days ago, rates had dropped, you know, over half a point. And if you set your mortgage, you locked it in at the top of the market, and it dropped, you know, 0.7, 0.8 from what you had, you might have been thinking, okay, well, I'm going to wait till it drops to 1.5 points, then I'll refi, right? I'm going to wait because it's going down. Well, you know, I don't know what happened with the tariffs. I don't know what happened with whatever. Rates went back up, and you may be like, darn, I wish we would have refied when the rates were lower. That's what a no closing cost loan from Miller Lending allows you to take advantage of, right? You don't have to pay costs and fees. So if it drops a half point, call them up and refinance. If it drops again, right, like you were hoping it would, you were worried that you'd miss out on, if it keeps dropping, call them up, refinance again. There's no closing costs and no fees. There's no money out of your pocket. You just call them up, go through the process, lower your monthly payment, and you don't have to worry about, well, what if it keeps going down? What if it keeps going down? Because eventually it might go back up and you missed your opportunity. And that's just one way in the last couple of weeks, a no closing cost loan for a couple of weeks. A no closing cost loan from Miller Lending would have helped you out. If you're interested, you want to learn more, you want to be prepared the next time there's a dip, give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, ladder challenge and a question about the Canes going into tonight's Capitals game that I'm excited to debate. Stick around.
Tonight's forecast calls for Hurricanes hockey.
Now Svechnikov ties out front for Stoll. They score! The captain ties it at 2.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck drop at 7:30.
Ball with the redirect. Here come the Hats! Stoll the deflection out in front. Carolina 5-3.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
Celebrate 50 years of adventure at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Enjoy award-winning performances and European-inspired attractions. Feel the excitement of thrilling rides, like the all-new Big Bad Wolf, The Wolf's Revenge. There's fun for the whole family. From conquering first rides to exploring immersive lands, there's always something worth celebrating. Only at the world's most beautiful theme park. Save up to 35% on tickets, fun cards, and memberships during our flash sale. Hurry, offer ends soon. Restrictions apply.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Stitches, itches, aches, and pains. Strep and sinus, minor sprains. Pink eye, earaches, fever, flu. Virtual visits, physicals too. At WakeMed MyCare 365, we offer both walk-in primary care and urgent care. So find the MyCare location nearest you at wakemed.org. Walk right in, and for just about anything from asthma, rashes, and examinations to x-rays, labs, and vaccinations, make MyCare your care.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. It's hockey season, baby. I live and work on both coasts, and here's the deal. There's nothing like Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, including half-price pizzas Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More, the place to go for sipping rosés with seltzers on ice. All kinds of beers with more reasons for cheers. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on all our beers and wines. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cool cars, cool people, good times. America's favorite car show is back. The Good Guys 10th Griot's Garage North Carolina Nationals, presented by Tremec. April 18th and 19th at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds in Raleigh. Cruise on out and see over 1,500 of the Southeast's finest hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Autocross racing, a Saturday night demolition derby, vendor midway, live entertainment, and more. April 18th and 19th at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. Details at good-guys.com.
Now Roslovic feathers it, Stankovic scores! Archery as he hits the bullseye in the top corner for Logan Stankovic. And it's 4-0 Carolina.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, spring is here, which makes it a great time. In all honesty, it's never a bad time to think about home improvements. Join us, Dennis and I, as we broadcast this show, The Drive, from the Aluminum Company's annual Spring Open House tomorrow. So the show will be live from 3 to 6 from the Aluminum Company out there on Hamlin Road in Durham, 1335 Hamlin Road in Durham, if you're plugging it into your GPS. The Spring Open House will be taking place Friday and Saturday. We'll be there on Friday for the show. You can join us, say hi, hang out, enjoy some of the complimentary food, free, no-obligation estimates on windows, doors, siding, a whole bunch of different stuff to help out your house. There'll be giveaways and more. Stop out, say hi. All happening tomorrow and Saturday at the Aluminum Company in Durham. Ladder challenge time. So let's go ahead and fire that up, Dennis. A little gambling competition, monthly trophy remains here in the host studio because I won March. And I wouldn't say we've started hot for April, but we're cranking it back up. Dennis, how was last night for you?
Last night was a big-time win for yours truly. Got back on the right track. Had a combined over 3.5 goals between the Leafs and the Lightning. They scored 7. So my $10 turned into $11.25. So back on the right track, Tim. How about you?
This is going to sound weird, and gamblers will know what I mean. I was 2 right last night.
You were 2 right?
I was 2 correct that I have an unfulfilled feeling. So the bet I went with was Luka Doncic, 40 or more points plus rebounds plus assists against his old team Dallas. And I talked about all the narrative of him wanting to show Dallas what they traded away and all of and all of it. It turns out, first of all, the narrative was ridiculously true. They played a tribute video. He was like tears in his eyes, very emotional. And then he went out and absolutely lit up his former club. I said on air yesterday, have the receipt. All right, I need 40 or more points plus rebounds plus assists. I wouldn't be surprised if he got 40 in just points. He had 45 points.
Yeah.
45 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. I know it doesn't matter for the bet, but he had 4 steals, and he shot 57% from the field and went 7 of 10 from 3. So here's like why I'm unfilled. I need to start, when I just throw away lines during the ladder challenge, I need to start betting those on the side, like a little side pot. It's a few times I've been like, I'm going to bet him on points, rebounds, and assists, but hey, he might get it in points only. When I say that, I have to remind myself to go bet over on that number just in points because it's way bigger payouts, and I've unfortunately not taken advantage of it. So with that being said, it was a winner, and I'm up to $11.73. Dennis, what are you betting on tonight?
Let's see. So you're up to 1173.
Yep.
Well, you're ahead of me. I'm 1125. So I believe you go first. This is the Masters is taking place, sir. Golf rules.
You're darn right. Oh, I have the tee. I have the honors.
Yes.
I actually don't. I placed this bet earlier and put it in my notes, and I didn't write down the odds. So I know 1173 will turn into 1329, whatever those odds are. And I don't want to log in right now. But Anthony Edwards, I'm sticking with points plus rebounds plus assists. I'm looking for narratives in the NBA. Players. Ready? Old timers will like this. Players choose which games they have big games in the NBA. Defense doesn't matter. Nobody plays it. Facetious, but yes. Anthony Edwards, 30 or more points plus rebounds plus assists versus Memphis. Edwards, notoriously competitive, right? He's a guy that doesn't shy away from a fight, likes trash talking, that sort of thing. He's filling a similar lane in kind of league status right now with Ja Morant. So I believe there's a bit of he'll want to win that individual matchup in addition to his team winning the game. So I think he'll shoot a ton. I think, 6 or 7 threes will get him mostly to 30 points, rebounds, and assists.
Okay.
So 30 or more from Ant Edwards tonight for Minnesota against Memphis. And then I'll walk away with my $13.29.
Okay, I'm going to go with the LA Kings at home against the Anaheim Ducks, so Battle of Southern California. Combined over 3.5 goals in this game, and the LA Kings might do that themselves. And it's a minus 675, so my 1125 will turn into 1291.
How about it? I want to ask you a question about the Canes.
Okay.
But before we do, I just want to update some people on some things. First of all, I don't know if you noticed this. NBA news.
Oh.
Yesterday, the Hornets officially clinched top 3 lottery odds, so they're one of the 3 worst teams in the league.
Let's get it. Capture the flag, baby.
In order to prevent tanking, the NBA
The Charlotte Hornets.
There it is. The NBA a couple years ago made it so the 3 worst teams have identical odds at the number 1 overall pick because they didn't want teams angling to be the worst. They're like, once you lock in the top 3, you can stop trying to lose. So the Hornets have locked in top 3 odds, 14% chance of the number 1 pick. It's kind of crazy that the best you can do is 14% for the number 1 pick. But that's 14% at Cooper Flag. That's what the Hornets have. They've done as much as they can do to get themselves in that position. Also, I want to update everybody on what's going on. There it is at the Masters. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the Masters. We have the current leaderboard presented by Treyburn Country Club leading the way as it stands right now. There we go, as we need to update, and my computer will get there. Beautiful. We're there. Justin Rose, still alone in the lead. He is through 14 holes in the opening round, 6 under par. There is a duo tied for second, chasing him down. Corey Connors, actually they're not chasing him down because they're off the course already. Connors in the clubhouse at 4 under, as is Scotty Scheffler at 4 under. And then tied for 4th, there's Tyrrell Hatton, who's in the clubhouse at 3 under. And here's the one everybody's going to be watching, in addition to Scheffler. Rory McIlroy through 10, 3 under par. Rory has been rough in first rounds at the Masters in recent years. He's closed with a vengeance, but if he plays well in the first round, this might be an opportunity for him to check off the final box in a career Grand Slam. So McIlroy right now tied for 4th. Other big names that you may be paying attention to, Bryson DeChambeau is tied for 6th, 2 under par through 10. Colin Morikawa is in the clubhouse at even, tied for 28th. Justin Thomas in the clubhouse 1 over par, as is Justin Spieth. They're tied for 35th. And we'll go with the 2 guys that played at Wake Forest. Cam Young in the clubhouse even, so he is tied for 28th with Morikawa. And Will Zalatoris is tied for 54th, 2 over par. He's in the clubhouse. Masters updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Treyburn Country Club, the Triangles Golf Escape. Stay tuned all weekend for more of those updates. Now, Dennis, we do have first goal score predictions, by the way, coming up. 4:33, be ready to call in with who you think will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period you think they will score it. Tonight's game is broadcast right here on 99.9 The Fan, as all games are. But it is a radio-only broadcast for Mike Maniscalco and Trip Tracy and the crew. So if you want to hear them, you got to hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. Puck drop at 7:30. Rather than the more traditional 7 o'clock puck drop time. So you didn't miss it if you tune in and it's not on. Now, I don't even know if we have enough time for this full conversation, Dennis, but I want to hear your answer. If I were some kind of a genie or a leprechaun, like a troll, something of a fairy tale variety, and I showed up and I said, I will give you one wish. However, that wish can only be that one player from the Carolina Hurricanes will start ramping it up and be peaking playing into the postseason, is going to go on a heater heading into the postseason. Only one. Who are you choosing?
I'm going to choose Freddie Andersen, the starting goalie.
I changed my question.
Okay.
What would be your top 3 to 5 power rankings to answer that question?
Power rankings. So Freddie Andersen 1.
Yeah, just because, by the way, I think every team would pick whoever their first goalie is, they'd go that guy.
100% goalie. But if I had to go after that, I'm certainly going to lean on my top stars like Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis. Third one for me, Andrei Svechnikov. If Svech is scoring, this team is at such a higher level because he brings scoring throughout the lineup, which is something that Carolina desperately needs. It cannot rely on one line to provide your scoring in the postseason. It needs it throughout the lineup. So Aho, Jarvis, Svech for me. That's my 3 after goaltender.
I have goaltender first also. The one name, and then I have Svech, Jarvis, Aho, but I have a 5 power ranking, so went Freddie, Aho, then I had Svech, then I had Jarvis. Do you know who my 5th is?
Shane Gostisbehere.
No. Brent Burns.
Yeah, yep.
Because if he's going to continue skating with Slavin, you need that pairing to be absolutely locked down. And you'd be foolish to think that Slavin's recent stretch of minus plus minus when he's on the ice is not somehow impacted by his skating partner. So if Burns starts lighting it up and playing really, really well, then I think you get back to when Slavin and Burns are on the ice, it's a rap ski, right? You're just donezo. And if you're the opposing team's forwards, if you're the opposing team's goal scorers, and I think that's very much that's a benefit to the Canes. So I would throw Burns in there.
Okay.
And do you know what I actually thought about saying? And I didn't know the troll might go, that is against the rules. I thought about going Nikishin.
We're on Nikishin watch.
We are. We don't have confirmation, but we have rumors and innuendo.
See, I thought the NC State fans were the ones that are supposed to be tracking flights for us.
Yeah, State fans, if you can find out the patterns of flights that might have Alexander Nikishin coming here from, where would he be coming from?
Russia,
I don't know, by way of somewhere else maybe, I don't know.
Dubai, maybe?
Yeah. That's your job.
That's State fans. You've been tracking flights for however many years.
You're so proud of your ability to track flights. Help us out here. You share a building with them. Lenovo Center, come on. The Drive of Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's go ahead and open up the phone lines for Canes' first goal scorer predictions. We need 2 pieces of information from you. Who will score the first goal for the Canes tonight against Washington? And in what period will they score it? Call in now, 919-860-5326. The phone lines are open, 919-860-5326. We need 3 official contestants to make their predictions on air. If you get it right, you earn an Apex Racing Lab gift certificate. The number to call, 919-860-5326. If you don't get in on the phone lines, you can always head to our YouTube live stream, 99.9 The Fan. Comment with the player and the period you think that the first goal will be scored. If you get it right, you won't be eligible for the prize, but you'll be eligible for the glory that comes with saying, I was right. Speaking of the prize, it's the ultimate sim racing experience at Apex Racing Lab. Rev up your engines at Apex Racing Lab, the Triangle's largest sim racing destination. Experience the ultimate thrill with 20 cutting-edge simulators, expert instructors, and world-class virtual tracks located in Carey's McGregor Village in Greater Raleigh. Visit Apex Racing Lab today and unleash your racing passion. Learn more at apexracinglab.com. That's apexracinglab.com. Phone lines filled up quick on this one. Must be some very confident contestants here. We'll start with Taylor and Holly Springs, that is. Taylor, thank you very much for calling in. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
I am thinking it's going to be Jackson Blake in the second, and I think it's Blake since he scored 2 goals last time we played the Caps. So I'm going to go Jackson in the second period.
All right. Why the second? Why the slow start?
Well, because we've had some slow games ever since we played the Capitals. So
that's fair. It's a very, very simple, in fact, explanation there, which I appreciate. Taylor, stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you. Ben in Raleigh. Ben, you are up next. Thank you for calling in. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
All right, so it's I'm just going off straight gut here. It's got to be Svechnikov in the first. We need a quick start, and I need Svech to start going. So
we just talked about it. He's on our list of players we hope kind of kicks it into gear. Appreciate the call. Stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you. And finally, Tim in Franklinton. Tim in Franklinton, first of all, fantastic name. Second of all, let's hear your guess.
Okay, let's go with who we're going to hit tonight. How about Roslovic in the first, and he's going to catch a rebound. Holland Roslovic, that line tonight is going to smoke.
I like that. That's a great addition to our conversation. Tim, stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you, but I'm going to build off of what you just said there. Kind of combining yours with what Dennis just said about his pick. In the postseason, you need multiple lines, darn near all of your lines being scoring threats. I understand what the Stahl line's kind of role is, and it's different than the others. But if Roslovic's going to be your second line center with Kotkaniemi out, Roslovic's going to have to center a scoring line, right? Like whether it's Roslovic scoring, whether it's Hall, who's cooled off a hair from being absolutely on fire there for a while. It's Svech who skated with that line in the morning skate. We know that Jankowski's been on a heater for, something that's very unusual in his career since he's shown up in Carolina. Robinson's been a surprise most of the season. Like Stankoven, we're still, I think he fits and everybody's always rooting for that guy to score goals. That's something that we should watch, right? And we should track. Obviously over the last 5 games, it's, they're pulling maybe your foot off the gas a little. It's all to be taken with a grain of salt. But as you get into that Devils series, which it's now clinched, the Canes will be playing the Devils in the first round. I think there's, obviously if Aho, Jarvis, if those guys don't produce, it's going to be really difficult. But, those other lines, I think the games that they win will likely be the games where they get production from a bunch of different places. And that's I'm not breaking news here. I'm not teaching anyone anything. And that's not my intention here. But it is something to track, right? Depth. One of the things that I was confident about with the Canes, about a month and a half ago was, and don't quote me on the exact time frame, was felt like they had a lot of guys playing well. Right, we did all that talking about if everybody's healthy, you don't want to put anybody as the healthy extra because if you need goal scoring, you need this guy. If you need a penalty kill, you need this guy. Like everybody was kind of doing their role appropriately. So everybody get back to that, right? Whether you're on the first line or not, I want to see goals, and I want to see aggression, and I want to see shots on net and taking advantage of high leverage chances, right? Because you can always have a game like Buffalo where you outshoot them by 1 billion and you still lose. Dennis.
Yes.
First goal scorer. I failed to ask you, and I want to make sure we get that on record.
I'm going to go with I'm torn on this.
By the way, Tim, the caller who picked Roslovic, usually our callers for first goal scorer, they call in, they know who they're going to say. Tim felt like he was sitting there on hold, and then I brought him up on air, and he went, all right, I'm going to decide. Roslovic. Like, I kind of like the pure gut feeling, and I just got the same vibe from Dennis.
I'm trying to think about the start of the game because there might be some extracurriculars and stuff that take place in this one. So I don't want to go with someone like Jankowski because I feel like those guys are going to be on the ice when the game starts when there might be some fisticuffs. So I'm not going to go with one of those guys. The guy that's actually back playing with Jordan Stahl and Jordan Martinook, Logan Stankoven. Stanky in the first period off of a deflection in front.
That is if he doesn't go get up in Tom Wilson's grill again.
You know what?
Again, because he's done it once.
Again. Which, by the way, I think Casey on our YouTube live chat said Aho in the first in Tom Wilson's face is his first goal score prediction.
And then duck.
We actually have quite a few.
All right, go ahead.
We also
rip through them.
Allie said Aho first goal because she wants the top guys getting back. D. Ely says he's going to pull reverse jinx. No one. Second shutout in a row, but he says it's a reverse jinx.
I don't hate a reverse jinx. I like a little Richard Jefferson, a little Randy Jackson around here.
Brandon said Chatfield in the second. Might be on the way to a Gordie Howe hat trick today.
Yeah, I was going to say, if that happens, give first star.
And Matt said Taylor Hall in the first. Comebread said Jarvie in the first period as well. So we're kind of a little all over the place.
I'm gonna double up with.
And also Travis said Chatfield hits the cap of the ultimate bleep you. Chatfield in the first, jumps on a 3-on-2, gets the goal.
I'm gonna ride with my guy Ben on the calling. I'm gonna go Svech in the first.
Gosh, he needs it.
He needs it. It's the Ovechkin, the Russian, the thing. There's something going on. He's skating with the second line. At least he was in morning skate. I just think there's opportunities. Svech in the first. That's what I'm rolling with. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, Jeff Kleiber, the SAS tournament director. Their tickets are on sale. It's PGA Tour Champion event that comes to Cary every year. So on a big golf weekend, we're going to talk to Jeff on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline coming up next. Stick around.
John is in a hot tub on his vacation. He earned 20,000 points by spending $2,000 with his Navy Federal Credit Union More Rewards card. To be clear, you don't have to vacation in a hot tub to redeem this offer. But John did, because the bubbles make him happy. Right now, you can earn 20,000 points when you spend $2,000 in the first 90 days. Offer ends January 1st, 2026. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Visit NavyFederal.org for details.
Now in Sanford, the Chatley Marine Boat Show and Sale featuring Yamaha Wave Runners with giant indoor showrooms and an on-site test lake. Chatley's the choice for your next Yamaha Wave Runner. Find a large selection of Yamaha VX, FX, GP, and Wave Blaster models. With special financing, huge discounts, and immediate delivery available, now is the time to get your new Yamaha Wave Runner at the best price. Hurry on in to the Chatley Marine Boat Show and Sale, going on now in Sanford. ChatleyBoats.com.
Is your plumbing outdated or just not getting the job done? Call Newcomb & Company to see how we can help get your home operating at peak performance. Our experienced plumbers can repair or replace faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
Hey, it's Adam Golden. I am in studio with my friend Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. Your open house coming up. What can we expect? Give me all the bells and whistles.
This Friday and Saturday, 8 to 5 on Friday and 8 to 4 on Saturday. We're going to be here. All of our manufacturers' reps are going to be here. We're going to have food trucks. You can come out for breakfast if you're an early riser, but if you want to come for lunch, we'll have lunch from like 11 to 3.
Nice.
And we're giving away thousands of dollars of prizes. This year we've got a special prize of 2,000 square feet of James Hardy siding, which is enormous. So if you're in the market for siding, please come out and see us. And you'll be there, right?
I will be there. I don't think I am eligible for the siding, but can I get something?
You absolutely can. I'll make you ice cream personally.
Ice cream?
Ice cream, personally.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You guys have everything. You have windows, doors, awnings, railings, gutter helmets. I mean, it's tremendous. You guys do an amazing job. The open house Friday and Saturday, 8 to 5, and then 8 to 4 on Saturday. They'll feed you to the gills. 800-672-4348, aluminumcompany.com.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned, Cajun-fried, whole breast tenderloin fillets. Choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles' legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Jeff Kleiber, SAS Championship Tournament Director, getting ready to join us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. The SAS Championship is coming back to Prestonwood Country Club in Cary this fall. Tickets are on sale, and they've got some I say this positively, some ridiculous deals going on right now as far as if you buy your tickets right now. They're also looking for volunteers. We'll talk to Jeff about it all. Jeff, thank you very much for joining us on the show as always. And it's a good weekend to talk golf. So before we dive fully into the SAS Championship, we're going to talk about a 2-time winner. And I say that meaning as both of the SAS Championship and of the Masters. Bernard Langer is kind of has the spotlight this week, right? He's announced it's the last time he's going to be playing in the Masters, a tournament he's won twice. But he's also won your tournament twice. Can you give us a good Langer story, something that stands out from your time of him being a champion on your course and at your tourney?
Well, I mean, there's so many. He's such a great ambassador for the game, and just seeing how much he's been celebrated this week with his last turnaround, Augusta, with his son on the bag, caddying for him this week is just really special. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I think the uniqueness about Bernard is even though he's now 66, going on 67 years old, he's frequently breaking his age in competition score-wise, and I think there was a run of 5 years in a row, and obviously he won the event twice, where he was in the last group on Sunday. He's always played Prestonwood well. The chef for a while at Prestonwood customized our Tuesday lunch because he would always get in early and practice, and even though he knows the golf course well, and he would make sure that the lunch on Saturday or on Tuesday was German food. But probably the best story that I have of him is the year that we played just the Highlands golf course. So we had just redone the greens of the Highlands golf course, and then we were redoing the greens of the Meadows golf course the following year. And we play a composite normally of 9 Highlands holes and 9 Meadows holes. And there was a hurricane that came through, coming through Florida and here, and his son at the time was looking at going to school up at Duke, and so he decided, since school was canceled down in Florida, they were going to fly up here, do a visit, made me aware of it. Visit went smooth, and he called me and says, hey, I really want to come and see the holes that we haven't played. So that's just how much he thinks about preparation. He goes on that Friday before the hurricane comes through, Friday night into Saturday, and he's the only person prior to the following Friday who would have played those holes because they ended up being underwater. We didn't play him in the Pro-Am, and the first time the rest of the field was able to play him was the first round of the tournament. So it just shows you how he thinks about preparation, and like his caddy is usually the first caddy out here, and even though our golf course hasn't changed much over the years, they're out there checking the bunkers and checking, has the tee changed, has the greens changed, has anything changed out there, and that's his longevity and his success is built around that preparation for sure.
And it's a great example of how much effort and how difficult it is to win a PGA Tour Champions event like the SAS Championship. Which leads me to the guy that makes it look the most effortless. Fred Couples, also a guy that has won your tournament in the past. He's at the Masters, 65 years old today, and of course he eagled 14, and he's in the top, I think, 15, tied 13 right now as it stands.
He's in red numbers, and there's not a lot of people in red numbers today.
Which, again, he makes it look, it's Freddie Couples, right? The smooth swing makes it look effortless, but what does it do for like your event and that Tour of Champions when you see that the guys can still hang with the younger guys in an event like the Masters?
Well, I think the Masters is that leveling point. Like, you have the people who have won multiple times there. You have people who keep coming back, and they know the course. And, I think it's ultimately, even though the, Augusta Nationals evolved over the years, those people who know their way around, oftentimes you see up on that leaderboard. And, Freddie's unreal. I mean, we just wish he had a healthy back because, who knows how many Masters and other majors he would have won if he had a healthy back, and how many times he may have even won here if he had a healthy back. It's just glad to see him out there, and I think he brings a smile to everybody's face. His smooth swing, his coolness walking down the fairway. He's just got that vibe that I think makes everybody happy when you see him.
Jeff Kleiber, SAS Championship Tournament Director, connecting with us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Jeff, it is not only the SAS Championship this fall, it's the 25th anniversary edition of the SAS Championship. Anything special planned? Anything different?
It's one of those things we just, we're continuing to plan. We do have a few months. We did put tickets on sale today, but that doesn't mean we're ready for everybody to come visit us. This event has become such more than a golf tournament in its 25 years. And, starting in the shadow of 9/11, it was the first sporting event after 9/11 to be played back in its inaugural year in 2001. And it was pretty much just golf those first few years, and we've added things like, our 5K, our Food Truck Friday, our Women's Day, and then recently we've added the HBCU Invitational, and last year we, started a good partnership with Folds of Honor and turned our Friday into a day where we're honoring, those fallen and disabled veterans and first responders and their families. And so, it's always hard to say, hey, we're going to do this new because we got a pretty packed week. But we'll have some surprises up our sleeve as we get closer to the 25th in October. And I think you'll see us showing up in each of those community events in a special way. It's something unique to celebrate our milestone this year.
You're also looking for volunteers to help out. What are you looking for there? What opportunities exist?
Yeah, no, we've been blessed over the years. This community loves its golf, loves its community events, and we usually, get to our 650 or 700 volunteers we need every year, but it is a process, and we kick off that process on Monday. So if there's certain, committees like walking scores usually is one that fills up pretty quickly, or other ways that you want to get involved, that sign-up process starts on Monday. And again, it's a great way to either come back and see old friends that you've known for years, because we have so many of our volunteers that, come back year after year, even a handful that have been with us all 25 years. But it's also a great way to just get involved in a great community event that benefits charities like Folds of Honor, like the YMCA of the Triangle, and gives back so much to this community. So we need anybody who'd be interested in helping out, and there's some great opportunities to do that opens up on Monday.
Jeff, before I let you go here, and thank you for the time again, I do have to ask, because I was on your social media, and you see it and you read it, but are there passes for $5 available today in your ticket options? $5 will get you into the SAS Championship?
There sure are. So, as we've always kicked off ticket sales on the Thursday of Masters, and in honor of our 25th, year, we're, making all of our tickets. So that's our, Grounds Pass, our Mellow Mushroom Chill Club, which is the hospitality on 17, our Porch, which is the hospitality on 18. Everything is $25 off. And so when you have a $30 Grounds Pass and you make it $25 off, that means you can get a $5 ticket.
All right, so my math was adding up. I was there. I just wanted to clarify on that one, Jeff. Jeff, we appreciate you for taking the time as always. Hopefully, we catch up again before the tournament gets started this fall.
Yeah, let's get out there and play some golf.
Let's do it. Appreciate it. Once again, Jeff Kleiber of the SAS Championship tournament director, coming to Cary is the SAS Championship out there at Prestonwood Country Club, like it does every year. And it's a PGA Tour Champions event, but they bring in the big dogs, the Freddie Couples, the Longers. Those are just a couple that we mentioned because they're kind of the stars of the Masters and also past champions. But they bring in all the big names on the Champions Tour. Did
I see Freddie Couples eagle out today from 191 yards?
Like 100 and you hit it on the nose. 191 yards out on the 14th. He plopped it in there, and he's tied for 13th right now. He's 65 years old. He's tied for 13th, and he's in the clubhouse 1 under. So his day is done. But, if you want to go over some of the players that he is better than today, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Will Zalatoris, John Rahm, they're all behind old Freddie Couples, smooth swinging Freddie, after the first day of their run through the Masters. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting 5 coming up. But first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to pass along to you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Loan Pronto. Interest rates, they're changing. They've plummeted. It's time to call Loan Pronto. If you're looking to get cash out of your home equity, refinance out of a high rate, or do a home improvement project, Loan Pronto can make it happen in a matter of days. Take advantage of this opportunity and get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home equity. Pay off all your credit cards. Pay off your car loans. The average homeowner cuts their monthly bills by $1,000 a month. Get more info at loanpronto.com. Inflation and higher costs have put a lot of people in a stressful financial situation. But if you own a home, there's a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom that you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash out in less than 2 weeks and don't even need an appraisal. Do the smart thing. Stop paying insane rates on those credit cards. Wipe them all out. Get that lower mortgage rate. Get some money for that home improvement project. It all starts by getting in contact with the experts at this. That's Loan Pronto. LoanPronto.com. Call 919-381-1760. Again, visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with the starting 5. Don't go anywhere.
Golf's first major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover golf's lasting tradition, the Masters. Find out if Scottie Scheffler can run it back at Augusta or if a new champion emerges. Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the Champion's Jacket. Coverage of the Masters on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by Treyburn Country Club, the Triangle's golf escape.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Thanks. Got my seat cushion, crossword puzzle, and can't forget the hand sanitizer. Okay, show me the waiting room.
No need for all that. You can stay in your car.
I'll stay in my car? Get out.
Yep, you stay in. It'll just be 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Get out.
Go ahead, sit back and relax.
Well, I guess I'll save all this for the DMV. If only they took 10 minutes, am I right? I'm sorry.
Take 5. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Disturbed. Live. The 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry and Nothing More. April 14th, Lenovo Center, Raleigh. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Disturbed. Live.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hoped it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. 'Cause I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
It is I, Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. Yes, I am back in Raleigh. Do I go downtown with so many places to party? No, I go to the Shakey's place. The good food, the fine drinks, the coldest of beers, and of course, the many, many beautiful people. I always hang at the Shakey's place, the coolest bar in the world, because, well, it was built for me. Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. The Shakey's place, 8800 de Raleigh Road by the Shelley Station.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We're watching for showers and storms to roll in this evening and overnight. It's about a 70% chance, 53 the low, a 50-50 shot at showers and storms on Friday, and a level 1 risk for severe weather, 66.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock, check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell down 1,014 points to 39,593.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting 5. But first, don't forget tomorrow's show will be broadcast live from the Aluminum Company out there in Durham. Spring is here, and that means it's a good time to start thinking about home improvements, your windows, your gutters, all of the things that you might take for granted. It's a good time to just start thinking about them, and no better way to do that than with a free, no-obligation estimate from the Aluminum Company. The Spring Open House out there on Hamlin Road in Durham takes place tomorrow. We'll broadcast live tomorrow. And Saturday, there'll be complimentary food, those no-obligation estimates I was talking about, free, no-obligation estimates, giveaways, and more. So stop by 1335 Hamlin Road in Durham tomorrow or Saturday. Now, let's start with the starting five, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Doncic inside, puts it up and in. 45 for Doncic. And Doncic now 16 of 28 from the field. Luka lunacy returns here to Dallas.
I don't know if I've seen anything like what happened last night in Dallas. Luka Doncic was traded from Dallas to the Lakers in, universally kind of accepted as a horrendous trade by Dallas. If there's 10 people on planet Earth that think that was a good trade, they're probably all very, very close friends of the GM that made it, and they're lying to themselves to just act like their buddy didn't make a bad move. So, as a member of the Lakers, Luka goes back to Dallas. And the reason why it's weird is Dallas fans were almost, they were rooting for Luka more than they were rooting for Dallas. They were chanting fire Nico to Nico Harrison, the GM. And Luka then fed off the energy of his former fans that were kind of his current fans to put up 45 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and he made 7 threes. So it's really like a nice, the crowd lifted up the player for the other team to beat the home team kind of moment that I don't know if I've seen before. I think that night will give Luka some closure. I think Luka's been confused. I think there's a lot of why did they trade me going on? And after that night, he kind of gets to just assume they didn't have any good reasons. They saw what happened there. There's my closure. I can now go focus on, trying to win an NBA championship with the Lakers. How do the Lakers keep doing it? They didn't draft Shaq. They didn't draft LeBron. They didn't draft Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
They did not draft Kobe.
They did not draft Kobe. The Magic Johnson, I believe, was a coin flip.
Maybe.
They just get handed Luka. I don't know. If you ask a Laker fan, they'll just remember that one time that Chris Paul was supposed to go there and it got vetoed. And I'm going, well, what about the 17 other times you got an all-time great for nothing? Do you remember who you traded for Kareem? Nobody does. Actually, I think it was somebody just passed away recently, maybe part of that trade. Either way, Luka, congratulations. You won the breakup with the Dallas Mavericks. That's number 5. Actually, hey, let's hear from Luka. Luka asked if he feels like there's closure now with Dallas.
It's a hard question. For sure it's a bit more. Talking about closure sometimes hard because, like I say, I spend a lot of time here, great moments. But it's, like I say, it's getting more and more, and I got to focus on different things now.
Got to focus on different things. But I'll give you this little nugget, everybody. When Luka plays Dallas from this point forward, take the over. Now, that's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Bryce under center. Chuba's the deep back. Snap. Give it to Chuba. Chuba inside the 10. 5. Slides into the end zone. Touchdown Panthers. He spikes the ball, and Carolina's got a lead.
The NFL draft is 2 weeks away as of today. 2 weeks from today, first round taking place. We're getting there. We're also to the point where if you're evaluating prospects, if you're a team, right, the top 30 visits are going on, players are crisscrossing the country, going from this team to that team. To me, you're looking for something specific now. Right? It's not, do we like this player? It's, we like everything about this player except for. Let's bring him in and see if that's something we can fix or not. Let's bring him in and see if that ends up being a deal breaker. Or let's watch more film and decide if we think we can coach that out of him or whatever it is. You got to be getting to the point where certain evaluations, you put a bow on it and you're done. I'm fascinated by the process. I wish I could know, but I think most teams probably have some kind of scoring system, and it's probably, either a grade or it's out of 100 or something. And now 2 weeks left, you have to start getting to the point where you're like, he's an 87. Close the book. That's what he is. Let's get to the next. The other thing that I think is going on, and might be more fun. I think they're trying to put on the shoes of the other teams, right? Walk a mile in their shoes. Okay. Right, if you're the Panthers, you have the 8th pick. You want to look at the 7 teams above you and go, all right, what do they need? What trades would they entertain? Who would want to trade up and get their pick? And you start to kind of role play so you have an idea of the probabilities of which ways you think the draft will go. I think that would be a good time. Right? Right now, if you go on darn near any sports media website, there's a billion different mock drafts. And my favorite mock draft is and a bunch of different versions of it, when you grab a beat reporter from every team and they actually make their pick, right? And it's like, all right, you got the beat reporter for the Titans. What are you doing? And the Titans like, well, I think they're going to go with the Cam Ward. Okay, that leads it to the Browns. Well, the Browns are going to try to trade back. If they can't, I think they'll end up with Travis Hunter. And you go on and on all the way down. I think there are similar events taking place in the facilities around the NFL. Give each scout a team. All right, you're running this team. What would you draft? All right, we're going to do it again. We're going to shift it up. We're going to pick names out of a hat. We're going to do it again. Right? What if you're Dan Morgan, how did you get ready for a game day when you were playing? You practiced, you scrimmaged, you went ones-on-ones, right? You ran walkthrough, you tried to imagine, you simulated. So how do you get ready for a draft? Same thing. Scrimmage. 2 weeks to do it, 2 weeks to put a bow on it, 2 weeks to be absolutely prepared. That's number 4. Let's hit number 3.
Dribbling left, Danger steps up. Evans, step back 3 from the wing. Got it again! Kyan Evans with 21. 64-54. Colorado State up 10. Kyan Evans, a new career high in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
When you look back on your life and you see these turning point moments that if that didn't happen, who knows what would have gone on. Kyan Evans scoring 23 in the round of 64 of the NCAA tournament to help his Colorado State squad beat Memphis and advance to the round of 32. He may look back and go, hey, those 6 threes that I made, that's what turned me into a Tar Heel. Because he hit the transfer portal, and probably a lot of that too.
That too.
Hit the transfer portal and committed last night to UNC, a team that, by the way, just like, if you just look at a roster and positions, desperately needed help on the perimeter after the departures of Elliot Cadeau and Ian Jackson. They needed a ball handler. They needed a point guard. Kyan Evans, I don't know if he's been handed the job. He's going to get a chance to go be the starting point guard for the North Carolina Tar Heels. I know people hate the transfer portal. This is kind of a cool thing about the transfer portal. Kyan Evans out of high school was 6'2", 170 pounds, had offers to Colorado State, Indiana State, Illinois, Chicago, true mid-majors, right? Not like a Gonzaga mid-major, like a mid-major. 2 years later, massive improvement from freshman year to sophomore year. Sophomore year, steps up in the biggest games, right? Obviously developed as a player quite a bit. Now he gets to go live out his dream of playing for UNC. And having an opportunity to, impact the biggest games in one of the biggest conferences. The flip side is Colorado State's probably not too jacked up about it, right? They found this diamond in the rough, turned him into a player that is, worthy of being a point guard for UNC, and they don't get to benefit from it, which, yeah, it's tough. Sorry, Colorado State. But guess what? Michigan took one of UNC's guys, and who knows who's going to take the other. You go find somebody else to take their players from, right? That's kind of my only advice there.
Go find a junior that's coming from a power conference that wants more playing time and can play well for you, and then have him for 2 years.
There it is. Or
that's how it works.
Or go find a guy that's too good for Division II that's looking to transfer up. Like
they exist.
Trickle-down effect, right? Trickle-down effect. The other thing about Kyan Evans that I failed to mention yet is he shoots almost 45% from three. 44.6% from three. Which, one of my favorite sayings, left-handed relievers, edge rushers, and three-point shooters. You can't have too many of them. But it doesn't always translate, because you know who shot 46% from three and then hit the portal?
Cade Tyson,
who went to UNC and couldn't even get in the rotation. So, Kyan Evans, by the way, I think that's pretty rare when you bring someone in to be a shooter. They shoot really well, and then they can't even work their way in the rotation. But, it's not 100% that Evans ends up being a massive part of the rotation, but it's just UNC filling the slots, bringing in guys that can help them at something specific. That's the other thing that I'm noticing about the way they're playing the portal. As of right now, according to 247 Sports, I was on their site earlier, UNC has 3 commitments out of the transfer portal, none in the top 20 players that entered the portal. But they all do something extremely well, or a couple things extremely well. Henry Vasar from Arizona, he's 7 foot. He can defend the rim, and he has a versatile game offensively. Jonathan Powell from West Virginia, he was a freshman last year. He's 6'6", and he can shoot the three. Led the Big 12 freshmen in three-pointers made last year. And now you bring in Evans. He's a ball handler. He can initiate the offense, and he can shoot. You don't have to be, the third-ranked player in the portal to have a positive impact on your team. We see it actually quite often. I'll give you this one. Walter Clayton Jr., the guy that was just the most outstanding player for the national champion Florida Gators. Mm-hmm. He was the 69th player ranked in the portal when he went from Iona to Florida. So, what did he do? Dude could shoot. All right, you bring a skill set, you can figure the rest out. That is number 3. Let's hit number 2.
Just the two of us.
The Masters is going on, everybody. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the Masters. Here's the current leaderboard presented by Treyburn Country Club. Leading, as he has been for a while, and he's actually extended his lead. 4 clear of everybody. 4 strokes better than everybody. Justin Rose. He's through 16. He is 8 under par. Tied for second right now, there is a star-studded group. Corey Connors and Scotty Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler, betting favorite, number 1 player in the world. They are both, Connors and Scheffler, both done for the day. They are in the clubhouse at 4 under par. Rory McIlroy, now tied for second through 13. He is also 4 under par. So Justin Rose, 4 strokes better than everybody, 8 under par. There's only 28 people under par total. He's 8 under par. It's a heck of a move on day 1 from Rose. He is a major champion, so while the pressure will be great, it's not like he hasn't been in high pressure situations in the past. This is going to be one of my favorite to track. Fred Couples is tied for 11th right now. He is in red numbers under par. As is Bryson DeChambeau. He is through 12, 1 under par. Other than that, a lot of the big names struggling. Koepka 1 over par through 14. John Rahm 4 over par through 12. Morikawa, he is even. Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth are 1 over par. All of those 3 done for the day. Speaking of the Masters, though. I almost said the Monday. Day 1, there's a saying about the Masters day 1. Can't win it on Thursday, but you can lose it on Thursday.
Oh, you can play yourself out of it real fast.
So it's really, obviously, if you can choose, you want to be Rose, right? You want to be 4 clear of the field. But really, you just have to be in the mix, right? There's enough moments for the guys ahead of you to collapse. There's enough moments for you to go on a run. What you can't be, and I don't say this in a mean fashion, but I say this this is probably the best golfer any of us will have ever interacted with, and yet this can still happen. Nick Dunlap, he's in the clubhouse. posted a 90. He's 18 over par. So there's opportunities to really implode on this one.
Take some pictures, buddy.
Yeah. The good news about missing the cut is you don't miss the cut till after your Friday round. So you get to play tomorrow. Just go enjoy it. The Masters, it's one of the cooler events out there. If you get a chance to watch it, take it in. It's special. And it's on in the studio, so if you hear me pause, it's because something's going on. Bryce and DeChambeau on the 13th. Whether you like him or you hate him, he's fascinating. By the way, Masters updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Treyburn Country Club, the Triangles Golf Escape. And again, listen all weekend long for coverage of the Masters and updates on the leaderboard. Or maybe we'll just be saying, like, Rose continues to run away with it. Maybe now that I made a whole thing about how you can't win it on Monday, maybe Rose will be 6 clear and he'll win by 6 strokes. Who knows? I don't pretend to be able to predict the Masters. That's number 2. Let's hit number 1.
The one! Kings win it clean. Blake on the backhand, and he scores! Oh, he put his hand in the cookie jar and came away with one. Another power play goal for Carolina. It's 5-1.
Canes tonight versus the Washington Capitals. This one is fascinating for a bunch of reasons. One, not only have the Canes clinched the postseason, it is already set in stone who they will face in the first round. Canes will be facing the New Jersey Devils. Devils have been racked by injuries this season, so it's not even a full-strength Devils team. Dennis, any worry on your part looking at the Canes that, and it's such a dumb question, but I hope you get the vibe I'm going for and don't just take it face value.
Okay.
That they clinched a little early and the Devils are a little, what's the opposite of intimidating, where it just seems like it's very low key at a time when like everything should be intensifying. Because I mean, let's be real. They're 1 point away from clinching home ice in the first round. Mm-hmm. Their opponent's already locked in. Obviously, their appearance in the postseason's already locked in. Even when we talk about the matchup with the Devils, a lot of the fans are like, well, if we were playing anyone other than the Devils, I might be a little worried about what's going on, but they don't have Hughes, and it's this, it's that. Like, it's just, this is when, like, the heat in the room should be going up, and it seems like the heat in the room is almost coming down in a weird way.
I get what you're saying, but I think Carolina and New Jersey have been staring at this first-round matchup for about 2 months now.
Exactly.
To me, I think it's like, you know what? It's okay that you're calm now, but in a week, it's going to get ramped up to – the oven's going to be ramped up to 400, 450, whatever it might be. It's going to ramp up. And I think it's okay that these guys are going to go a little slow right now, knowing that, hey, there's a sprint up coming.
I guess the better way to ask the question, and this is the do you want to debate something that, LeBron or Jordan, like a debate that's been done too much, but can you flip the switch? That's what it comes down to, right? Can you flip the switch from, well, it's human nature to lull a bit or to exhale once you clinch, and it's human nature to do this, but can you, when it's time, ramp it up? I think tonight's a good test for that. Because tonight the intensity will be there.
Oh, it's going to be there. Absolutely. And it should be.
Based on what happened the last time the Caps played here in the Lenovo Center, now the Canes have to go to their house. And there's not only the fisticuffs that were thrown, also, don't forget, the Canes smoked the Caps. Mm-hmm. And the Caps are the best team in the East, in the Eastern Conference as far as record goes. So they're going to want to just play better hockey, and they need to get the taste out of the hockey that was played in the Lenovo Center out of their mouth. The intensity will be higher if the Canes think they can roll out there like they have the last 3 games and just go, all right, snap their fingers, let's play harder. That's a more difficult thing in practice than it is in kind of talking about it. Go ahead.
By the way, before the game, because it's the first home game for the Washington Capitals since Alex Ovechkin broke Wayne Gretzky's goal-scoring record. So pregame, they're going to have all the hoopla and all that kind of stuff ahead of time before the game. I don't know if that's going to play a factor because, again, this is the first time they've played since Sunday. So Washington should be well rested because, again, first time they played since Sunday. But is there any sort of letdown that comes from that? Because it's like, hey, it's the celebration. Hey, we broke the gold record, blah, blah. I don't know. There might be a little bit of that on their minds, too. Carolina should pounce early.
Yeah, tears in his eyes, and then he goes, Luka. It's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, a little different situation, but yeah.
The other thing I want to ask, and we kind of debated this earlier, or not debated it, but you've illustrated it. The fights. It like let's say your name is Jalen Chatfield, right? You are Chatty. And do you try to just like get it out of the way early? Like, all right, let's drop the gloves right away. Then we're good and we can get on with the hockey? Or like what's the how can the Canes best handle that aspect of it? So I do think the Canes are this way. I don't think the Canes are soft by any stretch. I do think they'd rather play hockey than box.
Sure.
So how do you handle it if you're a veteran and you get the Canes together today and you're like, hey guys, we know what happened last time. We know what they're going to be about this time. What's the play?
I take care of business early, handle it early, get it done and over with, then go play hockey. I think both sides will do that today. I don't think we're going to see third period. All right, let's drop the gloves again. I don't think we're going to see it then. I think you'll see it in the first 5 minutes of the game. You'll see a fight tonight in the first 5 minutes. Radio-only broadcast, by the way.
Radio-only broadcast, 7:30 puck drop. Does it have to be Chatfield?
I think it's going to be Chatfield because I think Chatfield is the one that might get called out for how he did slam Connor McMichael down to the ice. Chatfield's probably going to be one that's going to be called out for it, and Chatfield will answer the bell. And I think that knowing Chatfield is like, okay, this is what I got to do. I'll take care of business.
Is it going to be Tom Wilson?
It might be Wilson going after him. Honestly, Tom Wilson will probably go after Logan Stankoven again or something along those lines. Let's be honest here. If we're going to be
visual of it,
if we're going to be real.
The Big Show going after a regular-sized team.
Exactly.
And I'm not to make fun of Stankoven, but Stankoven's not the biggest guy on the ice, and
he's not.
Tom Wilson comes with the reputation and the size and everything else. So, the saying "pick on someone your own size" might be uttered if that does take place.
Yeah, I don't know who it will be. The way I personally view it is, if McMichael wants to have get his pound of flesh for what happened last game, then it should be McMichael to challenge him. Even though I know McMichael's not a fighter, but neither is Chatfield. Chatfield, that was his third career NHL fight. And he's been in the league for multiple years.
And McMichael instigated it.
He did.
Yeah, he was the one that started.
Hey, if you're upset by it, then you go take care of it yourself.
Yeah.
That's the way I view it.
In hockey, I mean, and granted, McMichael is not the stud scorer, but there are times where other people fight in honor of somebody else. So
for sure.
I'm interested. I'm the unwritten rules. I don't necessarily agree with them, but I am fascinated by them. Before we grab some numbers game contestants, let's go ahead and hear some info that Dennis Cox, who you just heard from, wants to pass along to you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Law Tigers. Something that I want to make sure that everyone is aware of. If you are a motorcycle rider like myself, that there are opportunities out there for you to make sure that you know your benefits and are protected even before you get on your motorcycle. Go to lawtigers.com. Scroll down on the homepage. You'll see the free rider benefit kit that is out there for you. So whether you are interested in riding a motorcycle or been riding for decades, make sure you check that out, a free rider benefit kit just for you. Again, go to lawtigers.com. But before you get on the bike, make sure you have everything in line before you actually rev up the engine, before you actually go open up the throttle. Make sure your bike is in proper working order, especially if you had your bike in storage over the wintertime and you're just now been pulling it out. Make sure you check and make sure the bike's in proper working order. Make sure everything's inspection, everything's up to date, your insurance is up to date. Make sure you are taken care of before you get on the bike. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you contact your insurance companies. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth. They know what you go through after you've been in an accident. So contact them, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9. The Fan needs numbers game contestants. If you want to celebrate Easter weekend at America's favorite car show, we have a pair of tickets going to the winner of the numbers game that'll give you admittance into the Good Guys 10th Griot's Garage at the NC State Fairgrounds April 18th and 19th, where you can check out over 100 of the Southeast's coolest hot rods, muscle cars, trick trucks, and more. If you want to play the numbers game, potentially win the tickets, call in now. 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants. 919-860-5326. Numbers game next.
Tonight's forecast calls for Hurricanes hockey.
Now Svechnikov ties out front for Stoll. They score! The captain ties it at 2.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck drop at 7:30.
Follow the redirect. Here come the Hats! Stoll, the deflection out in front. Carolina 5-3.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions, a very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Need CPAP supplies fast? I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers, and we are the Triangle's top sleep provider, offering quick access to the equipment you need for better sleep. Get the right supplies right when you need them. With over 20 years of experience, our expert team is here to help you sleep better, sooner.
Discover why so many trust Parkway Sleep Health Centers for better sleep. Visit parkwaysleep.com now and start your journey to a healthier night's sleep. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
Hello, Scott Forbes, head baseball coach, University of North Carolina. When it comes to choosing a dealership, I stick with Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Growing up in Sanford, I've been fortunate to be lifelong friends with Will Wilkinson. My family and I have been buying and having our vehicles serviced at Wilkinson for many, many years. Great service, competitive prices, and most importantly, a place you can trust. Go where I go. Go see my longtime friend Will Wilkinson at Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned Cajun fried whole breast tenderloin fillets, choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. T&Cs apply.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing. Made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. On the line, 2 contestants. They'll be competing for the Good Guys 10th Rios Garage tickets, all at the NC State Fairgrounds, April 18th and 19th. 1,500 of the Southeast's coolest hot rods, muscle cars, trick trucks, and more. The contestants are Thomas in Smithfield and Jason in Holly Springs. Thomas, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, perfect. We ask a question. Dennis picks his favorite answer, and that person gets to go first. So going on right now is the Masters. The Masters does a ticket lottery every year. You request, and then they select, and you can make it. It's very exclusive, very difficult to win. I apply every year. I have never gotten chosen. I would love to go to the Masters. Might be number 1 on my draft board for event to attend in person. I ask you that question. Sporting event of any kind, anywhere. Money is no option. Exclusivity is no worry. If you could have tickets to any sporting event, what would it be?
World Series. I was this close to shelling out the money to go to the World Series last year to see the Yankees and Dodgers play. I just couldn't do it. So World Series is my answer.
How perfect is that, right? You couldn't. The money held you back, and then I start with the question of money is no option. You're like, oh, even with money being an option, I almost got there. All right, there you go, locked in. Thomas, your answer is noted. Jason in Holly Springs, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, perfect. Same question to you. You can have a pair of tickets to any sporting event anywhere in the world. Money is no object. What is your choice?
I'd probably have to go with the Masters also, man. That's pretty rare to go see that. So that'd probably be my.
Well, if I were the judge, you'd be getting selected. But Dennis is actually the judge. So Dennis, is it the World Series or the Masters?
Oh, this is actually a tough one.
And what would yours be, just for giggles?
Mine would be actually mine's tied. Mine would be Stanley Cup Finals, because I'm a big hockey fan.
If you told me it was Game 7,
but specifically Game 7. But actually, my next one would actually be the gold medal game of the Olympics for men's ice hockey.
Okay, so similar.
Because it's only once every 4 years you get it.
Yep.
So yes, very similar. I'll probably lean towards the Masters on this one. Is the one I'll probably lean towards. I'll probably go to the Masters on this.
Perfect.
One. I mean, World Series would also be.
There's
awesome
no wrong
to
answer.
To.
There's
There
no
really
wrong
isn't.
answer.
I'll probably
Actually,
lean towards the Masters.
That's a lie. There is a wrong answer. If you're like, Game 7 of the not a playoff series of like the regular season schedule for the Minnesota Twins, I'd be like, all right, that's a wrong answer. Either way, so that's Jason that gets to go first?
Yes.
Jason, you're up first. Thomas, stay on the line. You will have your chance. Jason in Holly Springs, are you ready to pick a category?
Yeah.
All right. The categories are NFL, the I's have it. That means all players whose first name starts with the letter I. NFL Jasons, all players whose first name is Jason. NBA, most NBA games without making the playoffs. Players in the top 100 active players. Most NBA games, no playoffs. Or NHL, Hurricanes only.
Hurricanes only.
All right. I'll give you the team and the player. We'll say the team in this category, even though you know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions?
No.
All right. Your time will start as soon as you hear the horn. Jordan Stahl, Carolina Hurricanes.
11.
Correct. Sean Walker, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
James Reimer, Carolina Hurricanes.
24.
Incorrect. Ryan Dzingel, Carolina Hurricanes.
8.
Incorrect. Sean Walker, Carolina Hurricanes.
24. I said that. 26.
What? Unfortunately, we would have had to accept the first one you said anyway. You said 24. But did you spit out 26 there after the buzzer? You might be gone. You did get one. You got Jordan Stahl with 11. Sean Walker was 26. I believe you got that late. James Reimer, we were looking for 47. It feels kind of cruel that one popped up today. And then Ryan DeZingle, 18 was the number we were looking for. You did get one. You avoided the shutout, so we'll see if that ends up being enough. Stay on the line, and we'll see. Thomas in Smithfield, are you ready to pick a category?
Yep.
All right, the categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players whose first name starts with the letter I, NFL players whose first name is Jason, or NBA players that are amongst the top 100 in total NBA games played without appearing in the postseason.
Let's go with the Jasons of the NFL.
All right, I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. You need at least 2 for the win. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jason Witten, Dallas Cowboys.
82.
Correct. Jason Taylor, Miami Dolphins.
99.
Correct. Jason Pierre-Paul, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
92.
Incorrect. Jason Garrett, Dallas Cowboys.
Pass.
Jason Kelsey, Philadelphia Eagles.
62.
Correct. Jason Pierre-Paul, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
94.
Incorrect. Jason Garrett, Dallas Cowboys.
12.
You're getting closer there. You got plenty for the win, so congratulations. You are the winner. You did get 3. So you get the tickets to the Good Guys, 10th Griots Garage.
Awesome.
Jason Witten, 82. Jason Taylor, you said that, 99. Jason Pierre-Paul, we were looking for number 90. And Jason Garrett with the Cowboys, number 17 is what we were looking for.
Okay.
And then you got Jason Kelsey with 62. So 3, that is plenty to win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you to get your tickets, but you are the winner. Look at that. Jason's. Who would have thought? Jason Garrett is a deep pull for Jason's. It's a good one. Don't get me wrong. It's good teaser, brain teaser, but that's a tough pull. Also, everybody, don't forget, now that spring is here, there's never a bad time to think about home improvements. Join us, Dennis and I. Tomorrow's show will be broadcast live from the Aluminum Company out at 1335 Hamlin Road. We encourage you to show up because it is not just a broadcast for us. It is also the annual spring open house for the Aluminum Company. There'll be complimentary food, free, no-obligation estimates. You can talk about ways to increase the value of your home, the durability of your home, windows, siding, doors, gutters, all sorts of things. So free, no-obligation estimates there, giveaways, and more, including a live broadcast of our show tomorrow from 3 to 6. The spring open house actually takes place most of the day tomorrow and most of the day Saturday. So stop out either of those days if it works with your schedule. We'd love to see you, though. 3 to 6 out there at 1335 Hamlin Road tomorrow. We'll be broadcasting live. We are nearing the end of the show, but we have just enough time for a feedback frenzy, and we will get to that feedback frenzy after I tell you about my friends over at Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Remember that. All of it can be handled by Maynard Service Company. And there's so many aspects of Maynard Service Company that I really respect, but one of them is their training, right? I talked with their owner, Brett, and Brett took me through all of the different ways they make sure that their technicians are caught up on all of the advancements in technology. Because you may not realize it. Over the last handful of decades, there's been so many advancements in things like water heaters, air conditioners, obviously with electric. And because of that, and because hopefully all of us have kept good care of our heating, cooling, electric, ACs, all those sorts of things, HVACs, we're not replacing them very often. These technicians have to be up on how to fix ones that were put in, a long time ago, a little bit ago, brand new. They have to be up on everything, so they are constantly training to make sure that no matter what type of apparatus they're working on, they are experts at it. They have entire rooms of their warehouses dedicated to essentially like air conditioners that they break and then have their technicians fix, just as like practice, a scrimmage, if you will. So by the time game time comes and your AC is broken on a 100-degree day, they're ready to jump into the action and handle the pressure. It's all at Manor Service Company. Keep the number on hand. Give them a call. They come out for maintenance and everything else as well. 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or you can visit them online, manorservices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. When we come back, it's a feedback frenzy. Stick around.
John is in a hot tub on his vacation. He earned 20,000 points by spending $2,000 with his Navy Federal Credit Union More Rewards card. To be clear, you don't have to vacation in a hot tub to redeem this offer. But John did, because the bubbles make him happy. Right now, you can earn 20,000 points when you spend $2,000 in the first 90 days. Offer ends January 1st, 2026. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Visit NavyFederal.org for details.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately.
Nope, sticking to our go-to places.
You mean like Sharky's?
Well, we love our Sharky's. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime. And Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Yes.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Hey, it's Adam Golden. I am in studio with the one and only Sammy Hanna from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I'm going to be seeing you this weekend for the open house.
Hey, Adam, I'm excited. I'm honored to be here with you. And yeah, this Friday, Saturday is our biannual open house, and glad to do it once again and looking forward to a great function.
So what are the big attractions? Not me. I am not an attraction. What are the big attractions for the open house?
Well, all of our radio hosts are always a big attraction, so please come out and see your radio host. I'm going to be there. My sales staff's going to be there. All my employees are there. So it's just a great time to come out and meet the staff, learn something about all your home improvement needs. We're going to have food as always. Food's always great. We're going to have Bojangles for breakfast. We've got our food trucks and ice cream for lunch. And then we've got some great giveaways. We're giving away thousands of dollars in gift certificates. We're having a big drawing this year for 2,000 square feet of James Hardy siding, which is the first time we've ever done that. It's just a great time to come out and have a great time with us.
There you go. 800-672-4348. Friday till 5. Saturday till 4. See you there.
Now in Sanford, the Chatley Marine Boat Show and Sale featuring Yamaha boats. With giant indoor showrooms and an on-site test lake, Chatley's the choice for your next Yamaha boat. Find a huge selection of 19 through 25-foot runabouts and the popular Wake Series boats. With special financing, discounts up to $6,000, and immediate delivery available, now is the time to get your new Yamaha at the best price. Hurry to the Chatley Marine Boat Show and Sale in Sanford. ChatleyBoats.com.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop.
Try it or your money back.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, broadcast tonight, Hockey Night in Carolina, Canes Caps, right here on 99.9 The Fan. It is a radio-only broadcast for Mike Maniscalco, Trip Tracy, and the crew, so if you want to hear it, right here, 99.9 The Fan. Adam Gold will have Storm Watch the half hour prior to, so that'll be about 7 o'clock, puck drop scheduled for 7:30. Dennis, it is also a feedback frenzy. Let's end with a little bit of input here from our listeners. What are you reading online?
All right, so listening and talking to people and seeing what people are saying online, and especially regarding, the Carolina Hurricanes, because we know they're going to play the New Jersey Devils in the first round of the playoffs. This actually just comes from our YouTube live chat, actually just a little bit ago. This one comes from Jason. Don't underestimate the New Jersey Devils. They still have offense up front. It will all come down to which Markstrom, the goaltender, shows up.
Maybe I didn't phrase that appropriately. I was trying to kind of encapsulate what I've been hearing from Canes fans of the Devils being a first-round matchup, not what I think of the Devils as a first-round matchup. When we bring it up, a lot of the feedback is, oh, the Devils aren't, they're without Hughes, they're not scary. Even if we're not this, even if we don't play well, we should be able to. I wasn't actually saying that. I was trying to pass along the information we've been hearing. So yes, great point, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to clarify.
Okay. We also again had a conversation about the Canes earlier today. About, all right, big game tonight in terms of taking on the Washington Capitals. A lot of people were asking, Sean, for example, Sean Holm wants to know who's going to fight Wilson. Who's going to fight Tom Wilson tonight? And then actually corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking, replied by saying, 1 horse-sized Capitals player versus 10 duck-sized Canes? Why can't we be horse-sized Canes versus a duck-sized Capitals player?
First of all, that is funny because that's one of those would you rather? Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 10 duck-sized horses that everybody knows? That's a funny way to phrase it. Listen, Tom Wilson, the reputation he has is not unearned. If you are going to get into a physical dust-up with Tom Wilson, I don't think it's necessarily the size of the dog in the fight, but I do think it is the size of the fight in the dog. You better go in there with your eyes wide open, right? Which is what Stankoven did. And I wouldn't reluctantly go into any of those altercations, but, the Canes don't have a ton of big old bad fighters on the team, so you got to make do with what you have. If Jankowski wants to go wear one for the squad, go ahead. But whoever it is, just better go in with, like I said, with your head up and your head on a swivel.
Should be an interesting one tonight.
I'm fascinated on how it all plays out and how quickly it's moved on from or not.
All right, let's go ahead and get into some conversation about Duke basketball. Yesterday, you played a clip from Bomani Jones from the Right Time podcast about his viewpoint on the recruiting strategy of Duke basketball and the way things are compared to UNC. So this one comes from Rob Fletcher. Rob Fletcher said this. Okay. John Shire found a good formula in this new era of roster turnover. Get high-level recruits and have vets around them. We need new vets because the moment was too big for them. They're saying we, being Duke, I'm assuming, need new veterans because the moment was too big for them.
Okay.
And also, HSIM followed up by saying, I think that too because our vets need to be more gritty and tough. Who can make the freshmen calm and collected in big games?
That's a fair point, because if you look at, like, and I hate to just say, like, you know, these two are to blame, but if the two that made the most egregious mistakes down the stretch were two of the veterans, not the freshmen. So I'm fine with changing up people playing the roles. I'm just saying don't tear down the blueprint, right? You can do a better job building off the same blueprint. I just think what Duke did pretty darn well was assemble a roster that had everything you needed. That roster just didn't execute perfectly in a very, very high-pressure situation. And I'm not sure if you run it back if those same guys don't do better. But, yes, I understand heartbreaking loss. You want to change some things. That's fine. If you want to go grab some new vets, it's fine as well. Right now, they only have 2 roster spots, which becomes difficult until Cooper Flagg and Con Knippel and some of these start declaring for the NBA. Mm-hmm. They're actually kind of hamstrung on what they're allowed to do, because you can't have 25 guys on a roster at any point. Just kind of how college basketball works.
All right, this one actually came from our conversation yesterday about North Carolina basketball, about how they need to make some big moves and find some big-time contributors in the transfer portal. NC Surfer said they need a point guard and shooters as soon as possible. Hubert Davis and staff got to get with the times on their selling points. And sure enough, today, or was announced late last night, they got a point guard who could also shoot.
Yep.
Filled 2 needs with 1, so NC Surfer got his wish.
The tough part is, in the portal, we talk ourselves into specific players, and then we get disappointed if we don't get that specific player, right? I think UNC fans talked themselves into Xavier Lee, the point guard from Princeton. I think they talked them a different subset, talked them into Robert Wright, the point guard from Baylor. Wright committed to BYU, supposedly $3 million plus. Let's see if Evans is the guy. Maybe he's what you wanted those other 2 to be. So don't be disappointed till you see it on the floor. And then maybe you will, maybe you won't. Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, coming to a close. We start Overdrive talking Canes. Why? Because the Canes play tonight against the Caps. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan, Hockey Night in Carolina. Subscribe to our YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow from live at the Aluminum Company. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
If I could have made more in my last year in college than I did in my rookie year and still have that real-world freedom without real-world responsibility by staying in college, I'd be a dangerous man. I would have stayed in college and I would be a dangerous man.
That's a blessing for me. I didn't.
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Is your heating and air system ready for the changing season? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures,